Good evening, baseball fans, and welcome to Fergie Jenkins Field. It's Barnstormers Baseball Live, presented by Kent and Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider. It's Chris McLeod along with Ed Myers. We're ready for the London Majors and the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers for the fourth time this season. The Chatham-Kent Barnstormers 0-3, coming off a loss on Sunday, a 10-0 shutout against these London Majors. Ed, this team can play. London Majors full of some veteran players, and the Barnstormers will certainly have to bring their A game here tonight.
Yeah, London's a very solid team. They have all the pieces. They're a veteran club. And again, we've talked earlier about the Barnstormers are still trying to remember each other's first name. They're a very young team. I would think an up-and-coming team. They need more experience against teams like London, but they've played well in spots this year, and we'll see what happens.
Exactly. This London team, veteran team, they'll certainly wait out pitchers, which doesn't bode well for the pitching staff of the Barnstormers. They're second in the league, 291 batting average so far this year. Now, for the Barnstormers, the key to victory is to stop giving up free bases. They have given up the most walks in the league, 108. The most wild pitches, 28. The most hit by pitches, 30. That equals 166 free bases. You add in errors, or second overall in errors, 29 errors against. That's 195 free bases they've given up, equaling about 11 and a half free bases a game. And that hurts. And the pitching staff just has to dig themselves out of that hole.
I made the comment on Saturday night. We were down by 10 runs, top of the ninth inning, and we out-hit Brantford. But we had two more hits than Brantford. Yeah. And so if you read box scores, draw the conclusion from the middle.
Exactly.
And it's the walks, the bases on balls.
And that jumps out at you as a baseball watcher and a look at the numbers. Certainly something they need to clean up. And it all comes back to being a young team. And you come up against a team against the London Majors. It's going to be certainly a game to measure yourself against one of the top teams in the IBL. The London Majors are sitting at 10-5, third overall, 2.5 games behind the Welland Jackfish in the Inter-County Baseball League. And they're 3-0 this season against the Barnstormers. The Barnstormers coming off 2 losses, 6-11 now on the season, 7.5 games behind Welland in a 2-game losing streak, but still in a playoff position where they sit right now. Well, you'll notice your Barnstormers, you may have seen them on your screen, a little different look here tonight. They're sporting the Chatham-colored All-Star jerseys, which we have seen for years as a local baseball watcher, but those tuning in for the first time, tonight is the night they honor the Chatham-Colored All-Stars. Formed in 1932 in Sterling Park, Archie Sterling brought them to the City League to play against the white teams, which was unheard of back in the day, and they kicked butt, Ed. They certainly did. The first black team to win an OBA title, 1934. They have been recognized across Canada, 2018 Baseball Ontario's Hall of Fame, 2000 the Chatham Sports Hall of Fame, 2022 the Order of Sport, Canada Sports Hall of Fame. Yet to get that Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame nod, which is something they're pushing for, but certainly a team that's rich in history in the Chatham-Kent history.
Yeah, they have quite a reputation in Chatham. If you were born in Chatham, and I was, most people were aware of the Colored All-Stars and their accomplishments in 1934. They evolved into a team called the Chatham Panthers, who also played out of Sterling Park for a number of years. Archie Sterling owned the drug variety store on the corner and sponsored baseball. The park was named after him. He was a supporter of athletics. He was the president of the OBA at one time and certainly promoted baseball and certainly provided opportunity for the Colored All-Stars.
And they will be recognized here tonight, as they are recognized multiple times throughout the year in local baseball circles, and certainly still pushing for that nod in the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. Hint, hint to the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. That's been a big push. Well, there was questions if this game would even happen today. We had rain this morning in CK, and it was one of those long, drizzly rains, which kind of puts a damper on things. Sometimes the quick and hard, and it's over with, isn't a big deal. Well, today was one of those days where there was a question, and I talked to team owner Dom, and he said, yeah, we're kind of monitoring the situation right now. They've done a great job in getting the field ready to play today. They did not take batting practice on the field prior to, though.
Yeah, the mound in the home plate area is protected by tarp. The rest of the field sort of took the rain, and it's back and it looks good. It was dry, so perhaps the rain was an advantage.
Exactly. We get that breeze that's blowing around. We got some swirling winds. Supposed to see some sunshine here before the sun goes down. I don't know about that. Humid weather is what they're calling for again, Ed. You're wearing a sweater today.
Well, I got up here one night, and you could hang meat up here. I really didn't know whether I should or not. I can always take it off, but it's either really hot or really cold up in this booth.
It says it's 27. The Humidex is making it feel like 33, but the eye test, the feel isn't feeling too humid right now. But we're looking at the flags out in left field, and they're swirling. They're left, they're right, they're all over the place. So
yeah. Which could create some problems for outfielders. And we saw that a couple of weeks ago where the outfielders had trouble. The ball was going from right to left and then swirling around, especially in the scoreboard area in the left center field. So we'll see how much effect that has tonight.
Starting pitchers tonight for the London Majors will be Jose Arias, 2-3, a 5.33 ERA. He's pitched 25.1 innings, 25 and a third innings so far this season. He's a past All-Star, has led this league in strikeouts, so he's certainly a veteran pitcher. Played in Venezuela in 2023, the Nicaraguan Winter League in the winter of 2022. So here's another, as we said, veteran player that's going to take the mound here tonight for the Majors. Now for the Barnstormers, they're happy to see Aiden Ryan back in the lineup. He's 1-2 on the season, won the first ever game for the Barnstormers, a 3 even ERA, and he has got 15 innings pitched even. Some elbow tightness for him. They shut him down for a couple of weeks, but they're happy to see him back on the mound here tonight. So Aiden Ryan against Arias. We'll go over the lineups, and we'll get to the anthem all coming up. It's the Barnstormers and the Majors coming up on Barnstormers Baseball Live from Fergie Jenkins Field. Presented by Kent and Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
My time, think it's my year. They gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming, had to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket. Yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits. Yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no ends. Yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen. Putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my.
Forward to a ball game here this afternoon, and this is the kind of baseball night that just makes you feel good all over. This certainly was at Donnybrook here yesterday, and his earned run average is 3.85. He has given up 70 walks and 178 strikeouts. He has 25 home runs and 98 runs driven in. He's a right-hand hitter standing deep in the plate. The pitch swung on by Keene, line shot to left field, base hit. Snyder overdrives it on the skip, fires it back in, and Keene is a base runner at first. Stepping in to lead off in the ball game will be young.
Back to Fergie Jenkins Field. It's Barnstormers Baseball Live, presented by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider. Jose Arias and Aiden Ryan will be the starters here tonight for the London Majors and the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, respectively. The Barnstormers are ready to go. Oh, we're on. I told him to give us a heads up, Ed, because I wanted to make sure we looked into the camera and we looked our best. So get a good look. Hey, thanks to everybody for tuning in on YouTube here tonight. The comment section is open, and we are keeping an eye on it. We will do our best here tonight. Player to watch tonight for the majors. Let's take a look at Victor Plaz. He is the starting third baseman tonight. He went 4 for 5 on Sunday, 4 RBIs, and he leads off tonight for the majors. Osika is the second baseman. Cardoso will be over at first. De Oleo will be the catcher tonight. He hit 2 bombs in that opening game, May 12th, majors versus the Barnstormers in their 15-12 win. Straightaway center. He crushed the ball. Reichstein will start in right field. Joseph in center. Reyes Cruz back in the lineup at shortstop. Krasminski in left field. And Verhoeven will be the designated hitter tonight for the majors. The Barnstormers will start with Spencer Marcus, who moves over to play center field tonight. Lee Cusera is out of the lineup. Anthony Polowick, who's played very well against these majors, starts at second. Seth Strong is over at third base. Dan Battelle, the former major, is at shortstop. Haggith in left field. Bakuda, your designated hitter tonight. Trent Sillett, the London native, starts at first. Greg Kemble over behind the plate. He's the catcher. And Vasilinek, who's been an infielder, has pitched this year, starts in right field tonight. Majors 3-0 against the Barnstormers. They 15-12 victory on May 12th. They came back June 18th in a 7-6 victory, a late inning walk to bring home the winning run, and then on Sunday a 10-0 win against their natural geographic rival, outscoring the Barnstormers now 32-17. 32 of those runs, 27 of them have been earned. So we've got a barn burner here tonight, Ed. We've seen some offense between these two teams, and that first game was a Tuesday night, and we were here for quite a while. I got plans tomorrow, so I don't know, Ed, if we can get this one in quick.
I think that game finished about 10-12.
That was a late one.
And I remember you commenting whether you should go home or just go to work. You're an early riser, and your shift starts in the middle of the night to me.
Pretty much, yeah. So it was a late one. We'll see how tonight goes. It's not the forecast we were calling for. They're calling for sun and clouds. We got a lot of cloud cover right now, and the winds are swirling. So nothing on the radar. About 27 degrees, feels like about 33. The umpires for tonight's game, behind the plate, Stephen Gomes. John Thompson will be over at first base, and third base will be Katrina Kadot. And tonight we'll be joined by Paul Allen, who is a Chatham native but lives in London now, and he's wrote a book on the history of the IBL, and we'll touch on that coming up a little bit later on, probably about the third or fourth inning here tonight. Players are on the field. The lineups have been introduced. Umpires have met with the managers. Lineups have been exchanged, and Lefty has got his hat off, so we're about ready here for the national anthems to get things started tonight at Fergie Jenkins Field. Paul now lives in Ottawa. So Paul is making the trip back home tonight.
He played, I think it was 11 years for the majors.
Oh, okay.
Was a teacher in Petrolia and lived in Sarnia while he was playing for the London Majors. So it's quite a combination of locations and involvement.
We'll certainly hear from Paul, man. He's going to have some stories. He'll join us about the third, fourth inning. All right, your national anthems here tonight at Fergie Jenkins Field.
Our home and native land, true patriot love, in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Barnstormers baseball line back at Fergie Jenkins Field. The anthem's in the book. Aiden Ryan going to take some warm-up tosses here. Aiden back in the lineup, 1-2 on the season. He started the year, played the very first game, pitched the very first game, and got a victory against Kitchener. Aiden, who had a little elbow tightness, sat down for about a week, 2 weeks, back in the lineup from Tecumseh. 6'2", 185, 22-year-old Aiden Ryan. And he's a pitcher they miss, especially in this run here, Ed. They've got 5 games in the next 7. I think it was 8 in the last 11. Like, it's a busy spell in the IBL as the school year comes to an end.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest concerns of anybody in this league is the number of games that get bunched together, where we play 3 games this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Obviously, you need pitching, and we've had some pitching, and it's been sporadic. Brock Woodson is an exception to that. He pitched really well on some Friday night. And he made some adjustments and was in control. He threw a lot of strikes. He moved the ball around, and that's what we need.
Aiden Ryan taking the mound here tonight. What do you look at a player who's been out of the lineup, maybe some elbow tightness? What is something you look at as a former pitcher yourself and a guy who's watched baseball for a long time?
Well, I think if you're fully healed, you'll be able to sling the ball. What you hope he's not holding back and aiming the ball, because that will cause further problems. Because really you pitch with your legs, and the arm comes through. But that would be a common approach by someone coming off an injury.
All right, Kemble, the veteran behind the plate tonight, so he'll nurse his starter through this one. He was the opening night catcher with Ryden in that opening night victory, so Kemble gets a start here tonight. Fukuda is in the lineup, too, as the designated hitter. Interesting tonight, General Manager Harry Muir, you could probably see on your screen, is positioned in behind the plate, and Harry's got himself it's called a jugs gun, and one of the models anyway, but see maybe a radar, maybe we can get a read on the speed of the pitches.
Yeah, it's hard up here to really even guess the speed, as we're looking down at the field.
Mm-hmm. Ryan kicks and deals, and he opens and Plans with a slash at 7:35 to shoot one out of play. Plans the starting third baseman here tonight in his second season. Played last year with the Barrie Baycats, and he had himself a game on Sunday. 4 for 5, 4 RBIs.
Not bad.
No. Not at the top of the order. Gets that lineup fired up. Evens the count at 1-1. Real good friends with Tommy Reyes-Cruz, who's also in the lineup, will bat 6 tonight. Childhood friends in the Montreal area, and they're now London Majors. Catches the outside corner of strike. Reyes-Cruz and Victor Plaz grew up playing ball together in Quebec. Continue to do that today. Ryan 1-1 or 1-2. And that one going to catch Plaz looking. Good way to start the game. Welcome back to the lineup, Aiden Ryan. Game of confidence, Ed. You want to get off and get that arm feeling good.
Especially some of our past games, we've gotten in trouble right off the get-go by walking, getting behind batters. And they say at a point in time, you sound like a broken record when you're talking about pitchers who are pitching behind in the count.
Zika got a good rip on that one. Yep. That one fell straight back. Zika played the last 3 years with the Hamilton Cardinals. It's hot right now, batting .368, a home run and 12 RBIs. And nice bat in that second hole. Ryan's ahead 0-1. Another swing and a foul off.
Throwing strikes. That's a very good sign.
We talk about that busy schedule, 5 games in the next 7. Certainly want your pitcher to eat up some innings or wear out that bullpen. Ryan low, doesn't get the call. Kemble thought maybe he had it. Osika 1-2 now.
Real good pitch with 2 strikes, down and in.
Grounder down to Sillett, takes it on a hop, and he'll handle it himself. Unassisted, 2 down to the first.
Well, he's thrown a lot of strikes so far, and that's what we need. Not that every pitch has to be a strike, but you want to be in control.
Work ahead in the count.
Yeah.
Caden Cardoso now. Vancouver native, the third hole. His .349 batting average puts him at 8th overall in the IBL. Only game on the schedule tonight. Right here at Fergie Jenkins Field. He'll start him with a strike again.
And he's throwing free and easy, so he's not aiming the pitch. He's slinging the ball, and looks comfortable out there.
They've got him on a pitch count and innings count tonight just to ease him back in the lineup. Check swing grounded to shortstop. Patel on a bounce across the diamond. Sillett 6-3, and the Barnstormers set down the majors. 1, 2, 3 in the top of the first. Barnstormers get the sticks going next. You're watching Barnstormers Baseball Live from Fergie Jenkins Field, presented by Kent and Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
The last game of the
Barnstormers Baseball Live. Fergie Jenkins Field. The majors now on the field. The Barnstormers ready to swing the bats here tonight. If you're joining us late, tuning in, Barnstormers are honoring the Chatham-colored All-Stars tonight. Formed in 1932, was the first black team to win the OBA title in 1934. They barnstormed across Ontario, and hence the Barnstormers name. So they honor them tonight. The Chatham-Kent Black Historical Society, your night sponsor. So they're wearing those Stars jerseys tonight.
And if you look at the population of Chatham, a lot of names still exist who were on that team and still live in the Chatham area, which is a really good thing.
And coming up on Canada Day, I've got a sneak peek at the Canada Day jerseys, and they're going to wear Canada Day caps on that one too. There's some good-looking threads. So busy weekend for the Barnstormers. Obviously tonight versus London, on the road Thursday versus Kitchener, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Canada Day, all at home. Hamilton on Saturday, 7:05 start. Welland on Sunday at 1:35, and then Canada Day, a 6:05 start. So busy weekend and a long weekend to get the summer rolling here at Fergie Jenkins Field.
Lots of baseball action, and hopefully you can see your way clear to come out and enjoy a baseball game and all the activity that surrounds the ballpark.
Jose Arias, the starter tonight, 2-3, a 5.33 ERA, 25 and a third innings pitched. Former Chicago Cub free agent back in 2010. A 2022 IBL second-team All-Star. Led the team that year with 132 strikeouts. So you can hear that wind kicking up. That's up in the booth here.
Yeah. Whipping around.
Yet the flags and left not moving a whole lot. So, yeah, we're getting some swirling wind. Spencer Marcus, the leadoff batter for the Barnstormers, and they'll step off here as the dust kicks up into the, you see the home plate umpire, Marcus.
They both got it.
The Olio, will step out and try to clear their eyeballs there after the wind comes across the infield, blowing right into their faces. Arias ahead, 0-1. And Marcus slices one back to the net. His .397 batting average, second in the IBL. Missed a week or two worth of games with an injury. Has been hot since returning. 2 home runs, 11 RBIs on the season. And his 23 hits, despite that 2-week layoff, puts him in third.
Been one of our more consistent players. The leadoff position, he's a very aggressive hitter. He also is a really high above average outfielder and made some great plays in the outfield.
A stellar right fielder. They've got him playing center tonight. And he'll, at the end of the bat, and that one dribbles towards the dugout.
Well, he's obviously been coached and does everything right in the outfield. His angle of approaching the ball, clearing his throwing side, so he's ready to throw to the plate for tag ups. We've seen him throw a couple of runners so far, and that's a very strong arm, and he anticipates well.
Right-hander's box here is going to get a piece of that. Reyes Cruz will come up with it. Not enough, though, and he'll beat it out. It's an infield single off the end of the bats. And Reyes Cruz had to come in on it, throw off balance, and Marcus will start with a single. And Anthony Pollock will stroll the plate. Pollock, family in Chatham-Kent, but lives in London, is batting .667 against the majors this year. Second baseman tonight, bats from the left side. Arias looks back over his shoulder. Marcus leads the team with 4 stolen bases. And a ball one to Pollock. That one fouled off the front leg of Pollock, and he's trying to walk it off. Rolls down to the third baseman, Plaz.
Pollock replaced Robert Mackey on Saturday night. Mackey, with a swing, seemed to have hurt his wrist or his elbow and got to come out of the game. So I'm really not sure what his status is.
Yeah, mid-at-bat he came out in that one.
Yeah.
So he's not in the lineup tonight. See if he's available this weekend.
So I don't get to say, look out, old Mackey is back.
Not yet, anyway.
We'll wait for his return.
Arias kicks and deals, 1-1 the count. Pollock towards first. Cardoso, nice play to get it over to second. The return throw, and a nice play by the Majors. 1-6. It's 3-6-1. The double play. Pollock not at full speed there. Maybe that foul ball off the inside of the leg.
And it looked like he was gimping a bit going down the first baseline. Nothing hurts more than a ball going down off your foot, your ankle.
But Cardoso, the right-handed first baseman, had to pick that up and turn his body and get it over to
Did a nice job.
Reyes Cruz. Very nice double play. 3-6-1. And Arias come across to cover the bag. Big swing by Strong. Second baseman for the Majors is out in short right field. Osika.
The Panda gets his money's worth when he swings. There's no doubt.
Not getting anything cheap. Power on power. This one pops straight up. Back and now coming in. It's going to drop. That swirling wind is going to drop it in front of the center fielder. Joseph went back a step. Looked like he had a beat on it, and then he had to charge in. Strong will take it. He's on base with the single.
Imagine it was the wind. At first I thought he might have lost it, not seen it off the bat, but it played more like the wind.
Mm-hmm. Joseph is now just picking up his hat. He had to track back for it. Dan Patel played last year with the Majors. He's a cleanup hitter tonight for the Barnstormers. Hit .326 last year with London. .269 to start this season. He's going to get a called strike on the outside corner. 10 RBIs on the year. You can hear that wind through our microphones kicking up here in the booth. And it's an interesting night here at the ballpark. Arias. Patel's going to slice one towards left. Joseph's this time he comes across, but no, it's going to be the left fielder who cuts him off, and he'll make the catch. Interesting play. Kuzminski comes up with it, and the Majors, despite giving up 2 hits, will get out of the inning with no runs allowed. Nothing through 1 at Fergie Jenkins Field. You're watching Barnstormers Baseball Live, presented by Kent and Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
You got that memorized now?
Good.
Mike reads it all. He said, I can't. He said, I know I'm going to screw it up. He reads it every time.
Whether you're commercial, industrial, or residential, Enyo Pest Advisors are here with passion and integrity to help. Call us for a no-obligation quote today, 226-627-4944. Enyo, bigger than bugs.
Field first pitch to Yolio. And Ryan gets him swinging. Feeling good. Aiden Ryan back in the lineup after a couple of weeks resting an elbow. A strikeout in the first. And that one high and inside. Want to shout out to John, who's watching in San Francisco tonight, Ed.
Wow.
It'll be an early, I guess a late afternoon ball game for you out there in San Francisco. Thanks for tuning in, John.
Supper time, I gather, about 10 to 5 in San Francisco.
Yeah, why not? Do enjoy everybody tuning in on the YouTube channel and obviously weighing in on the comments section. We're trying to keep an eye on that. Our crew is running around here behind the scenes, making sure they can bring this broadcast to you. With the swirling winds and the chance of, well, the radar doesn't say rain, but I don't know, Ed. It feels like it could change.
It looks like it, feels like it, yeah.
You were commenting in the break that all three flags over the left field scoreboard, each one of them is doing something different.
Yeah.
Olio will foul that off on the right side.
I'll throw this out to the London fans. I threw it out on the game Saturday night against Brantford about Ron Stead, who is a pitcher in the Intercounty League, Superior for the Red Sox, and if anybody had knew him from yesteryear, I did not get any response, but he's in the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame and was a very effective pitcher for Brantford. He was with the Union Gas Company. He moved to Chatham and pitched in Chatham at one time with the old Kent Concrete team in the early 70s. So if anybody remembers Ron Stead, be curious.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, reach out to us. We'd love to connect there. Olio will start the inning with a walk. He's down to first base runner tonight for the Majors. Sillett will hold him on. First baseman, or rather the catcher on first, not really a threat to run. Reichstein will stroll the plate, St. Thomas native, 31 years old. He's been part of this team since 2012. So we set out the top, a very veteran lineup, and certainly weighed out the pitching staff. Get that veteran batter up there who's not afraid to work the count. Had some pitches on a pitcher's arm. He'll get a strike there on the inside.
A very strong stance. It looks like he means business when he's in the batter's box.
He was the 2021 IBL playoff MVP. Timeout here. 359 games played coming into the season, 62 home runs, 294 RBI.
He can hit.
Yeah, he can hit. Fifth batter in this lineup for Roop Candidate here tonight. Ryan, outside corner and low. Pushes the count to 3-1. Barnstormers had a couple of runners on in the first. Marcus reached on an infield single. Eliminated on the double play, and then Seth Strong's blooper for a flyout to end the inning. Ooh, that one not going to get the call. Kemble looks back. And they check down with the second base umpire, Katrina Kadot. She says no go. So back-to-back walks, which runners on first and second for Ryan. Cruz through the first, and now Kemble will come out and discuss with his pitcher.
This is critical, this stage of the game, because the pattern has been when we walk one or two batters, we tend to walk a lot of batters in half inning, and it's gotten us behind. So it's very critical that Ryan can find the plate, relax, sling the ball, and he does have 8 players behind him, and possibility for a double play is always great. You throw strikes.
110 walks in the season. Now for the Barnstormers, leads the IVL. We had mentioned that off the top, just free bases, and got 2 runners on now, and that's going to find the hole. Joseph Haggett's going to come up with it, and they're going to hold the runner. Strong throw in. Strong will cut it off, and now the base is loaded. Joseph, a single to left. And no outs for Reyes Cruz. Joseph swinging on the first pitch. And the Majors looking to get something going here in the top of the second. Tommy Reyes Cruz from Montreal in his second season. A former Sherbrooke Expo in 2022. Certainly missed the Expos, Ed.
Yeah, it's quite a run.
That was the team.
Yep.
Swings to the first pitch, fouls it off.
Barnstormers are staying in regulation depth. I think they'd be willing to trade a run for a double play or an out at this point in time in the game.
Patel having a conversation with Reichstein, who's at second. Former teammates last year. Patel shuffles to his right a little bit. And Reyes Cruz waits for the pitch from Ryan behind 0-1. Good block by Kemble to hold the runners. Barnstormers enter the game tonight, sitting in 6 spots, 6-11, 2-game losing streak. Looking for their first win against the Majors this year. An inside strike for Ryan. The head and they count 1-2. Tommy Reyes Cruz, a step out, readjust, reset. Strong about even with the bag down at third. Sillett plays behind the runner, Joseph at first. The base is juiced. Second inning, 1-2 the count. Chop back to Ryan off the glove. Could turn 2 to Polowick. To first, they'll take it. We'll get 2. Run will score. But exactly what Aiden Ryan was looking for.
Yeah, that's a high percentage play. If you can get them the batter to hit the ball on the ground, you'll trade the runner for a double play. Now he's got 1 man on and 2 out.
Ryan will get a glove on it, so 1-4-3 goes the double play. Reichstein advances to third. And now, a better situation for Aiden Ryan. He's got 2 outs. He's going to deal with Krasmensky, the left fielder. Left-hander. Inside pitch. They'll take ball 1. Gibson Krasminski from Tecumseh, Ontario is batting .286 on the year with 4 RBI.
A lot of good baseball played in Tecumseh over the past while.
Aiden himself, the pitcher from Tecumseh. I'm sure they faced each other. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. Chopped down to Sillett. Bounce right up to the mid-chest. And Sillett will take it to the bag. And Ryan will escape. A bases loaded, no-out situation, allowing just 1. A double play turn behind him. 1 run allowed, 1 hit. And the Majors lead the Barnstormers after 1.5. It's 1-0. Barnstormers Baseball Live from Fergie Jenkins Field is presented by Kent and Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider. 12 pitches in the first for Jose Arias. Allowed 2 hits. Barnstormers were unable to move them to second. Braxton Haggith get his chance to swing here. 5th in Dan Norman's lineup tonight. Starting pitcher Kenny Williams is your first base coach tonight. Multi-talented. He's a translator. He's a starting pitcher.
He's an interesting guy to talk to. He's been everywhere. He told me at one time that he played 18 months consecutively in 3 different countries baseball one year. He's been to Australia and United States and Canada.
Haggith will lift one to center, and that's going to drop in front of Joseph. 3rd hit of the night for the Barnstormers. Well, Kenny hasn't stopped talking to everybody. First baseman, the first base umpire, John Thompson. And now he's got his own base runner down there, Braxton Haggith, to talk to.
His mother is Japanese. He speaks English, Japanese, and Spanish. I talked to him after the game on Saturday night. Really an interesting guy, very personable, has traveled far and wide playing baseball.
You think maybe they kicked him out of the dugout? Go coach first.
A little quiet.
The designated hitter tonight, Suki Fukada.
He spoke at a luncheon a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I heard that.
And just 15 minutes. Tell people what your experiences are in baseball. He just went off the cuff, 15 minutes, no problem.
Well, Fukuda, who doesn't speak English at all, is at the plate. He's been relying on Kenny to be his translator. He's behind now 0-2, batting .323 in the season and 5 RBIs. Arias looks back over the shoulder, ahead in the count. And he's going to get that outside strike. Fukuda doesn't believe it, but his first strikeout of the night.
We were able to meet some of the players randomly and talk to Fukuda and Kenny Williams on Saturday night. It was good. Fukuda is limited with the Japanese, but he was with Kenny Williams. And,
there you go. Trent Sillett strides to the plate, first baseman. And he'll poke one right back up the middle. It's going to squeak through. Haggith rounds and puts on the brakes as Joseph was charging in. Runners at first and second, swinging on the first pitch. Sillett gets on. Sillett from London. And he's on bag for the first time here tonight. Catcher Greg Kemble. Veteran backstop for the Barnstormers, batting .211. He's got 1 RBI, and he's got the first ever hit in Barnstormers history. Went to the right side back in mid-May. Something you'll never take away from him. Curveball will catch.
it was fitting that he got that first hit.
Yeah, you're right, Ed. He's local kid. That's a nice little feather in your cap.
His grandfather had a business, as a painter, wallpaper business, and his partner's last name was Graham. And so when his father was born, they called him Graham Kemble. And so I coached his dad, minor baseball here.
1-1 to count. Runners moving, and a nice hit and run. Down the line. Oh, just foul. Just foul. Almost worked to perfection.
Good call. Get the guys moving on the bases and have the batter swinging.
Yeah, Kemble, that was an outside pitch. Looked like it was going to be a ball, but Kemble had the sign and just missed down the right field line. Runner's got a good jump, too, in Arias. I like that move by Norman. Let's get something going
good
here.
Call. Yeah.
Keep out of the double play. Kemble, a catcher.
Be aggressive.
into the count now. Double play depth up the middle. Arias kicks and deals. Checks the swing down, and they'll say no go. Arias doesn't like it. He thought he had him. Campbell just held up. Thompson, the first base umpire, said no swing, and then some confusion on the infield. Haggith was dancing off second. They hustled him back. 2-2 now. 1 out.
Choke up and bear down. Get 2 strikes, protect the plate.
Sillett and Haggith on the base pass. Kemble in the batter's box. And he's going to put this one to right field and not playing too deep. Come in on it. An easy catch there by the right fielder, right stud. He's playing a short right with the right-handed hitter, Kemble. Torn Vasilenic now the right fielder tonight for the Barnstormers, usually an infielder. Bats in this 9th hole in the lineup. Been in a rut all season. Batting .159, a home run, 6 RBIs. He's 24 strikeouts, his second in the IBL. And a hit here would certainly do wonders for the confidence. Big hole on the right side. Be close to the bag up the middle, and he's swinging away on the first one. Olio. That one foul back and catch him. He'll walk it off.
Umpire giving him a little time, going for a stroll around the home plate. It's a courtesy that catchers and umpires extend to each other, actually.
Is it clean out the plate? You all right?
Yeah, they communicate. They're in this together.
Gives him a pat in the back. Let's get back at her here. 0-1 to Vasilenic. Flyers plays tight to the line. They play tight up the middle. A lot of holes on the infield for Vasilenic. Holds that back close to the chest. Dancing off second is Haggith. Outside and low.
Got him to pull. There's a big hole between first and second. Gets a pitch. That's where you want to hit the ball.
Haggith has been out there at second for a while now. He's trying to get ahead of Arias. Second baseman is trying to keep him close. 1-1 pitch. And they'll chop that back to Arias. And it'll be an easy out. They'll go 1-3, and they're out of the inning with another hit for the Barnstormers. 2 runs, no hits, or rather, no runs, 2 hits, and the Barnstormers go down to the second. It's 1-0 Majors. You're watching Barnstormers Baseball live from Fergie Jenkins Field, presented by Kent and Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
From beginning, middle, and end, the personal touch is crucial. Your ideas are worth listening to, and they're probably the best way to go because you know your story, you know your family story, you know what's going to work best for the gathering, the context, the space, the music, all of those kind of things. People are feeling like, oh, I have permission to do what we want for Dad, and we get to say, yeah, of course you do. This is your dad.
Top of 3 at Fergie Field, and Brad Verhoeven will lead off the 9th hitter for Chandernet. Designated hitter tonight. 286, 5 RBIs for Verhoeven. Former Fanshawe Falcon. Ball on the outside. The Barnstormer fans wanted the call, as did Ryan. Won't get it. He'll fall behind the first batter of the 3rd. Top of the dugout. Count evens at 1-1. Paul Allen going to join us here probably the next inning or two. Interested to talk to him. I've been following him on Facebook here for the last little while, but you know him quite well, Ed.
I do. He grew up in Chatham. He's a little older than me. He played in the division ahead of me, but for those people from Chatham, they realize he made quite a contribution to Chatham minor baseball. And the guy that I knew who played with Paul was my cousin Larry, at the same age. He was a left-handed pitcher on that team. And Eddie Robbins is here tonight, and Dick Carey is here tonight. They're all teammates on the 1956 Bantam OBA championship team.
Wow. Well, hit batsman to start off the 3rd. Another runner on. That's the 31st hit batsman for the Barnstormers this year. They lead the IBL in that category. Back to the top of the order. Victor Plaz led off with a strikeout. Coming off a 4-hit performance Sunday against these Barnstormers. So June 18th, a 7-6 9th inning win. That pitch outside. They're going to go down to first, and Sillett just gets a glove on it to pave a ball down the line. And Verhoeven leaning a little bit. Barnstormers and Majors have played June 18th, June 23rd, now tonight. Really getting to know each other.
And they usually are scheduled to play midweek games because of their closeness. So now we're down the 401. Either way, obviously.
Yeah, that rivalry certainly building. Talking to Dom Donnell this morning, team owner, he's like, yeah, we're starting to feel it. And we were coming out full force at Labatt Park on Sunday. Barnstormers really got their eye on Verhoeven over at first. He's going to get a good lead. Chopped down to Strong. And he's short arms that one. It's going to get by him. Verhoeven's going to round, and now he's going to go. No, he's going to slam on the brakes. Runners all over the diamond. Falling is Plaz, and he'll get back in time. Verhoeven took some hard steps to third, slammed on the brakes. Plaz was hustling, trying to get to second and behind him. When he stopped, all hell broke loose.
He got the skids going.
Yes, he did.
It's one of the first mistakes I've seen the Panda make. He sort of short-armed that. I don't know whether it's called a hit or an error, but he got fooled on the ground ball.
You're going to give him a hit. Dan says that's a hit.
That's a hit.
Strong has got himself positioned so he can get an eye at the runner. They're concerned about Verhoeven moving. They've been keeping an eye on him. Turning to bunt now, right back to Ryan. He's going to go to second. He'll get the second runner, a sac bunt for Osika, but they'll eliminate Plaz at second. So a fielder's choice, or rather a sac bunt, will get him onto first base. Advancing to third will be Verhoeven. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Ryan pounced off the mound like a kitten there, and Turn had Polowick covering second. Big bat at Cardoso now, the first baseman. And he's going to swing away at the first pitch out of play. Cardoso grounded down to first base unassisted in the top of the first.
Concessions look like they're doing well tonight. That's a stream of people walking up into the grandstand.
Always smells so good. Well, I was thinking, Ed, we had some questionable weather this morning. We're keeping an eye on the forecast as the game got going here tonight. There's one towards the hole. Polowick got a late break to it. It's going to get by him. And they'll throw him behind the runner there. That's going to score a run. Verhoeven comes around to score. Polowick misread that off the bat. Couldn't get to it.
Ball played him. You got to be moving as the ball is approaching you, and he was flat-footed.
Verhoeven, who got on with a hit by pitch and will kill you. The leadoff batter comes around to score. Cardoso will get be an error on the second baseman on that one. He'll reach first on the air. Eduardo D'Olio, the catcher, came around to score back in the second. 2-0 now for the Majors. Big swing on the first one. I get him on that slow stuff.
Yep, off speed. You don't want to come in.
Yeah, he's geared up for that fastball.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
It's just the story of the young season for the Barnstormers. They've given up 2 hits. They're down 2-0. An error, a hit batsman, and a walk so far in the game tonight. There's another curveball, strong, juggles. He's going to go across the diamond, try to get 2. Sillett stretches, and he'll beat it out. Now they'll come back to third, strong, and they'll sneak it in there. Cardoso didn't hesitate, went first to third. Sillett with a strong call back across the diamond, and Katrina Kadant will call him safe there.
2 good throws on that play. The Panda made a great throw across the infield, and then Sillett returned the favor with another strong throw. That's a long throw, first to third.
So the fielder's choice will eliminate Osika. Cardoso goes all the way around. Chopped high, Sillett, that's out of play. Foul ball.
Well, it's a very good defender. Yeah, really good hands. Very agile. Obviously, he's played a lot of first base in his day.
Left-handed batter, right Stein in the box here. He's behind 0-1. Ryan outside. Campbell down to smother it. Big veteran left-handed batter. Ryan's down 2-0 through 3 innings here. And that one's fouled back to the screen. So 1-2 the count now. Ryan looks over his shoulder. D'Olio not a threat to run. Right Stein, and that's foul down the right side. Cardoso's the runner at third. Inning started with a hit batsman. Verhoeven came around to score. Plaz bunted back to the pitcher.
I mentioned the last time Reichstein was on up to bat, he looks really sturdy in that batter's box. He's not giving way to anything. Real strong, firm stance.
Big veteran lefty. Looks out of the pitcher, Ryan. Kicks and deals outside. He's not going to get the call. That was in the dirt. Cleveland Brownlee not in the lineup. He's a longtime vet in the IBL. He is on the bench here tonight. He's been in the IBL since 2010. Reichstein since 2012. A Southern Arkansas alumni. St. Thomas, high and outside. Count goes full now. Starling Joseph, center fielder, is waiting on deck.
St. Thomas once had a franchise in the Intercounty League. Tomcats.
Tomcats. Used to have a hockey team called the Wildcats. Big feline community in St. Thomas.
St. Thomas has always been a sports-minded town.
Oh, it sure has. 3-2, the payoff pitch to Reichstein. Runners in the corners. He's not going to get him to go fishing on that one. And that'll load the bases for Starling Joseph.
Played a fair amount of ball in the old Pinafore Park. I don't know if they've changed the name of that or not over the years. My grandson played the OBA tournament there 2 or 3 years ago, and hasn't changed much.
No, Pinafore Park's a beautiful park. I lived in St. Thomas for a while.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Lots of baseball and hockey played in St. Thomas.
Starling Joseph swung at the first pitch. Single back in the second. He's up here now with 2 outs and the base is juiced. San Pedro de Macorís, Dominican Republic. 295, 2 home runs, 15 RBIs and a shot. And that goes off the bag and it's down the line. That'll score 1 and 2 now and maybe more. And he's going to come around. No, puts on the brakes. Reichstein gets back and a double makes it 4-0. Reichstein had thoughts, got the stop sign. As that ball came in behind him by Cardoso, and Olio come around to score. And a 2-run double by Starling Joseph. Well, we've had a hit batsman and a couple walks this inning. They both come around to score.
We were talking earlier about old ballparks in the area, and Tecumseh certainly has a jewel. And there was an individual named Bert Lacasse who did so much in Tecumseh for baseball. I guess you get to an age. I knew Bert Lacasse. We played in the Essex County League out of Chatham, and we did not have lights, so we played our Wednesday games as a doubleheader in Tecumseh.
Because they had lights.
They had lights. So we played 2 games on Wednesday nights, and Bert Lacasse was a gentleman. He reminds me of Dom, actually, today. He did everything. PA, ran around and did everything, and I have fond memories of Tecumseh and Bert Lacasse.
And you know you get to be of a certain vintage, and the park's named after people you knew them.
Yes. Tecumseh was quite the place to play ball, and they have a really Tecumseh Thunder, and they've played in the Premier Baseball League Ontario, PBLO, over the last years. He won it last year in the 18U.
Squibbed down the third base line, then gets out of play. 0-2 now to Tommy Reyes Cruz. Barnstormers have got their first base coach warming in the bullpen, Kenny Williams.
Keeping him busy.
Get out of the dugout, Kenny. They got him warming up here. I believe they were going to give Ryan 3 innings of work tonight. And he's on that now. 1-2 the count to Tommy Reyes Cruz.
If you haven't met Kenny yet, you're in for a treat. He very personable. Is an unbelievable experience playing baseball.
Just a good ambassador for the team.
Yep.
Get out in the community. 3 runs in the second. Runners at second and third. The count's now even at 2-2.
We were next door at Mike's place, a bunch of players, and on Saturday night before he left, he put all the chairs back where they're supposed to be, moved all the tables, left things as he found them.
For him. Heard some good things about the players around town. Ryan kicks and deals. Reyes Cruz slices one to Haggett. He'll settle under it. Wind swirling. Yeah, a little bit of a route to that one, but Haggett will finally swallow it up and get the Barnstormers out of the inning. 3 runs in. Barnstormers are still out hitting them, though, but they trail 4-0. Sticks back for the Barnstormers are coming up. It's Fergie Jenkins Field and Barnstormers Baseball Live for Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider. Bottom of the three for the Barnstormers at Fergie Field. Start back at the top of the order. Spencer Marcus will lead off against Jose Arias, who have given up 4 runs here, 4 hits rather. The Barnstormers yet to score. Rangers have only gotten 3, and the Barnstormers are behind 4-0, and that's just the way it's been this year, right?
It has.
Give up a couple walks, a hit batsman, you get that hit at the wrong time.
Down 4-0 and out hit the opponent by 1. And that's what they have to improve on. And we keep saying they're very young. Mm-hmm. And a bunch of young guys who are really putting quite an effort into a team. A very interesting group of young men who have goals, and they are great to talk to. And everyone I've talked to so far, and I haven't seen them all, is very happy to be living in this area, and they've been treated well.
Well, Barnstormers, no concerns with the bats so far this year. They made a couple spots in the lineup they'd like to see a little more production from, but it's been the pitching inconsistency and just some errors in the field that have hurt them. Well, still lots to go. We're only in the bottom of the third, 4-0.
There's Robert Mackey, I see coaching at first. So
Mackey's now into the coaching game. Don Menard, the regular third base coach, an old veteran of the IBL. And Marcus will swing at the first one. That's towards the hole, trying to get surround that ball. Sika comes up with it. He's going to throw it away. That's going to go off the dugout fence. It'll be an infield single for Spencer Marcus, and he's got his second hit of the night. And that batting average rises. It might be enough to put him as top in the IBL.
It's really a tough play by the second baseman. He had to go far to his left, come over with it, get up and make the throw.
Get off the end of the bat. It was slicing away from him. Not hard hit, and Spencer runs hard. Leads the team, 4 stolen bases. He's back on first again with that sliding mid-on. Gets his lead. Not a long one. And Polowick watches strike 1. Well, they had the hit and run going in the second inning with Greg Kemble up. Got that hole on the right side, and Polowick swings a good bat against the majors, batting .667 against them this season. Marcus a short lead. And now chopped through the hole, might get through. No, Sika this time will have time. Another nice play by the second baseman. Advancing to second, no play on Marcus. Seth Strong will stride the plate. IBL All-Star voting is underway. You can go online and vote at the IBL.ca, and Seth's got to be up there. He's got his name dotted all over the leaderboard on the offensive side of things.
Got off to a really strong start.
As
thought I would throw that out there.
.391 batting average coming into the night, 3rd in the league. 8 home runs, first, 20 RBIs, tied for first. Looks outside, ball 1. But it doesn't end there. 17 runs, tied for 3rd. 25 hits, first. 55 total bases, first. 13 extra base hits, first. And an .859 slugging percentage, first. Very early in the season, but if an MVP candidate, that guy right there. And that is why. Long ball for Seth Strong. And the Barnstormers are on the board. Another strong dinger. His 9th of the year. And he cuts the lead in half, 4-2. As I was saying, a MVP candidate, Strong.
Certainly a fan favorite. Sort of salutes the crowd as he comes toward home plate. Knocks his hat. Fans love it.
Well, that field house has certainly been dotted with home run balls. I think that one might have cleared it, though, Ed.
I think it might have. We lose the sight of it at a point in time because we can't see the height of the ball because of the roof.
I'm slightly concerned. I parked over that way, so I should probably know better by now. I'd have to make a call to the insurance company later.
Just a warning, right?
Yeah. Arias gives up his first runs of the night. 5th hit. It's 4-2. As we said, it's that offense who's been keeping the Barnstormers close, and now the fans trying to get some rallies going here. Patel, he's going to slice one into right field. Right Stein, he's going to drop it. Patel hits first and stops. Reichstein came in and almost caught that down by his hip.
Yeah, I don't know if the ball dipped on him.
Give him an error, the E on the right fielder there. I don't know if maybe got caught up in the trees or something where the visual just wasn't.
Looked awkward. It wasn't where he planned for the ball to end up.
Well, Barnstormers will take it. 1 out in the inning, and they've got another runner on. This time Braxton Haggett, left fielder. Swing from the left side. And this one sliced to left field, playing shallow. Now he's got to run because he's got to deal with that wind. And he'll settle under it, get the second out of the inning. Surrounding that ball, Kuzmenski. We haven't seen anything move going to left field yet this season.
No. The red ensign flag out there, which is the furthest left, is the only flag that was moving during that. I can't understand the not being a weather person.
Yeah, there's a breeze saying we were supposed to have a humid night, about the 30s with the humid X, and it's nice and comfortable at the ballpark tonight. Barnstormers down by 2. Arias to Fukuda. 1-0, 2 outs now. Natel, the runner at first. Crowd buzzing again after a Seth Strong dinger. And Fukuda will pop one straight up. Cardoso over for a look, and that's just going to get out of play. Looks like it's back in the hot dog stand.
I think the fans came here hungry tonight. As I say, we sit and look between innings, and there's just a single file of food and drink coming through the up the aisle.
Well, it was a slow boil tonight. It was kind of a weak crowd, and slow arriving tonight. The weekday game. You see a little bit of a different schedule. Maybe get your dinner in and then get over here to the ballpark tonight.
I noticed a lot of people get here early. We usually get here a couple hours early, and people are already here, roaming around, listening to music, talking to people they hadn't seen in a while. It's a very good atmosphere.
Yeah, I see a lot of familiar faces, and then meeting some fans that are making the trip down from other IBL centers and beyond. Patel took a couple hard steps there off first, so retreat back.
Interested in a number of people that I know in the community who have watched every Barnstormer game, home and away, but haven't been here yet. And they have tickets, and I've talked to 3 or 4 people. They don't miss a pitch. They do the TV coverage, and you're aware of all the players and what they're doing, and hopefully they can get out here soon.
We appreciate you tuning in as Fukuda will sky one to center. Joseph moves to his right. Now he has to come over, and it's not an easy play out there tonight with that ball swirling around. 2 hits and a long bomb from Seth Strong makes it 4-2. The Barnstormers are on the board. Back to the defense now, and Aiden Ryan looks like he's going to be out of the game. We're going to look at that coming up. It's Barnstormers Baseball Live from Brigham Jenkins Field, presented by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
We're the most unique looking funeral home in the area. For some people, there's still misconceptions that perhaps we're just cremation, but it's very much the other way. We offer everything.
We do full service for funerals, and it's just not going to cost you as much. We've tried to pare down as much as we can and offer savings to our families so they can celebrate loved ones in the way that they're comfortable with and just do it more economically for them.
Fergie Jenkins Field, top of 4 now. Former first baseman, turned starting pitcher. I guess starting pitcher turned first base coach. Now in for relief. Kenny Williams into the game. Aiden Ryan goes 3 innings, 3 walks, a strikeout, 3 hits. Just the 3 hits. 4 runs allowed, 2 of them earned.
And as I mentioned, if you want to meet one of the players, one of the first guys you probably want to talk to is Kenny Williams.
He kicks and deals, and there's a ball to left. Braxton Haggith has that drop in front of him. There's a base hit to start the inning.
Not sure if he saw that off the bat.
Sminsky, the left fielder, leads off. Bottom of the order gets things going here in the top of the 4th. Verhoeven, the designated hitter who came around to score just last inning. Now bats second. He's got some good wheels. He's going to turn to bunt now, and he'll bunt that foul. Strong was charging in from third.
As he attempted at that ball was about 1.5 feet outside.
Runner was moving on that, eh?
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. A bunt and run.
Bunt and run. Williams gets ahead in the count 0-1. See if he squares again here. Strong on the infield grass. He comes charging in. Did he go? And he's going to get, no call on that, 1-1. Didn't offer at it. Former Fanshawe Falcon for Verhoeven, an infielder designated here tonight. Squares to bunt. That one nicely strong. Gets out of the way. That's going to get down to first. Sillett has to come across the bag, but he does.
Good footwork by Sillett. Switched his feet, got to the inside of the bag, and made a really good play. Good play by Campbell as well, too. Got out from behind the plate, fielded the ball correctly, and ended in an out.
Strong had to get out of the way, and while that's happening, Danny Battelle comes around in behind 2 to cover third. Otherwise, that base was wide open for Kuzminski.
And that's the good thing. When you watch these guys, they play ball, and they just haven't played ball with each other.
Yep.
But there was no confusion there. That's catcher's ball, and the Panda gave way.
One of my favorite things about baseball is little idiosyncrasies. When bunt play, guy comes in, a guy makes sure he covers third, and it's like a ballet.
Yep. All orchestrated in practice.
It is. And that's the one thing I've been talking with Dom Donnell, the owner. He's himself getting out doing some infield practice with the team, and that's one of the things they didn't get a lot of work on early in the year.
Mm-hmm.
As a team, getting them all together and working on that.
Well, they came
stuff.
together rather quickly for the first game, and as we said, if you were playing in the college ball in the States, you would be way ahead of the kids who played college ball in Canada, because the season is in the fall, and it takes a little bit of coordination, but get everybody on the same page, because every time the ball's hit, we should have 9 people moving on the field. There's always some place to back up.
Plaz, leadoff hitter, third at bat. That was inside, and that goes off the leg as Williams was ready to play it. And Plaz is going to hobble off and get some attention. That
just
stings.
Hurts. Oh, it's like dropping a metal pot on top of your foot.
You'd feel that for sure.
Oh.
This umpire's going to give him some time. Plaz is, and he's not well. Rup Chanderdat, the trainer, will come over and kind of shake that one off.
Takes a while, but most people shake it off, but it hurts.
Yeah, it looks like, is it the shin? It looks like that's where it caught him.
Got the shin guard on, but it must have maybe just slid off.
Yeah, it's never where you need it to be. Plaza's still hobbled. Try to shake it out. It's not a whole lot you can do as the trainer. They're just
Yeah.
see if he can put some weight on it. He's going to take that bat back again.
That's the old saying, right? Can you walk on it?
Yeah. patient Barnstormer fans.
He's rallying.
It's going to be all right. Get back into the batter's box here. Down 0-2 to Kenny Williams.
Probably not the first time he's done that. Why he's got the shin guard on.
Kenny has played in 6 games this year. 4 of them starts. He's ahead in the count. 0-2. He's got a runner on second after the sac bunt. And now Plaz will pop it straight up. Marcus, the center fielder tonight. That's going to be Vasilenic who calls him off. And he'll pitch that still. They don't look comfortable out there with those pop flies tonight.
Yeah. I was thinking of watching the guys with the shin guards on. A funny thing happened last Friday night. Harry Muir was the first base coach, and it's the inning that we just kept going around and around and around in Kitchener, and I think we had 14 batters go to play, and every time a guy get on first, he'd give him an elbow pad, a shin pad, and the next guy hit a ground ball to first base, and he couldn't field it. He tried to kick it. And
a grocery bag
we made comment, and he heard. He heard that I was making fun of him. I said, no, all you had to do is see the situation, and he laughed. Yeah, he had his arm full of any kind of protective device you can imagine.
It's like when you go to the grocery store for just one item and you end up getting a basket full and you have nothing to carry it in. Ozika going to line it to first base. Sillett gets up and gloves it. Shutout inning for Kenny Williams. 1 run, no hits. 4-2. The Majors have the lead. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th coming up. It's Barnstormers Baseball Live, presented by Kent and Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider. Barnstormers Baseball Live. Thanks for tuning in on YouTube. Just looking at some of the comments here, Ed. I know we've got a viewer in San Francisco tonight. Looks like we have another one in Las Vegas. Is that right, Keith? Thank you. Bill saying he lives just a couple blocks away from the ballpark, but loves watching the stream with the commentary. Thanks for tuning in. And then Seth's mom, Lori, chimed in, says she believes that it was Plaz on the weekend who had another foul ball off the shin.
Oh.
And said, yeah, I remember at the time thinking, man, it didn't do much help then either. Plaz stays in the game. He's down to third after that foul off at the top of the 4th.
And does Mom say anything about the home run? And thought there might be some comment about that.
No, she didn't say anything there. Sure, she enjoyed it.
She didn't miss
Ohio.
it. Yeah.
Strong checks the swing. No, he doesn't. He's going to go around, and he'll get him 0-2. Arias into his 4th inning of work. Barnstormers got to him back in the 3rd with a 2-run dinger from Seth Strong. Now 42 pitches. Through the 3 plus a batter, and he'll get the K. He's going to get the K there, looking Sillett. And that's the 2nd strikeout of the night for Arias. And not surprised, Barnstormer fans didn't agree with that one, Ed.
No.
I don't know if I'll ever hear a home team nod their head in agreement, but that one,
it was pretty much over the plate. I think he got fooled, basically.
Well, he got fooled in the previous one, too.
Yeah.
Arias had his number. 1 down. And Kemble has thoughts of bunting. Plaz was playing back and maybe thinking, hey, took that shot off the shin, might be a little slow going.
Yeah.
And now they're exchanging words. Plaz is kind of laughing about it. You made me run, dude. Barnstormer's out hitting the majors, but trailing 4-2, and he's going to check the swing. Did he go? The look down to first? No.
The comment on Sillett and Strong have certainly anchored first and third base this year. Or DH, they rotate the positions through DH first or third. Sillett's left-handed, therefore he is either DH or first base.
Yeah, good glove man down there at first for sure.
Very good, smooth.
A couple of unassisted plays tonight. Had that catch to end the fourth inning. Had that throw back across the diamond.
Great strong throw. He's obviously played first base many times.
Short hop, and that's almost up over the backstop off of Dolio's glove. Two, the count, one down. Bottom four. Each team's made an error now. Arias kicks, and Kemble stays alive in that one on a line to Tweedsmuir.
According to our information sheet, Seth is only 20 years old.
Don't believe everything you see.
Yeah. Goes to Goshen College in Indiana. I talked to his father one night after a game, and he lives in London in the summertime.
Guess he went to the Tigers game last night, from what we hear.
Oh,
We got full report, Ed.
Okay.
You don't get far from us.
no,
Reporters on every corner.
people will keep an eye on you.
Wind kicking up again. Arias outside, doesn't get the call. Count goes full.
Things are blowing around in there,
Yeah.
including us.
Yet, as we say that, the flags in left field don't move.
Huh.
It's been one of those nights, and any ball in the air to the outfield tonight has been an adventure.
Yeah.
Even simple pop-ups have seen the outfielders kind of surround it.
And the guy next door to you makes the catch.
Exactly.
Vasilanic did that one fly. It looked like it was going to center field.
3-2 the count. Kemble, there's one to the right field. He's got a run now. Right side over his shoulder. It's going to go off the wall. Kemble on his horse. He's going to get a stand-up double. And Kemble gets things going here in the bottom of the fourth. The ball just kept going. Reichstein went right to the wall.
He hit the wall pretty hard, too. I gather he was ready to take the blow, but he got all the wall. There was no doubt. He went right to the wall for the ball.
Vasilanic tapped back to the pitcher in the bottom of the second. Right fielder tonight. Trying to keep Kemble close to second. He gets a good, healthy lead there. Osika, the second baseman.
We haven't seen Vasilanic in the outfield. We've seen him at short, third, and he pitched one inning. It's Brentford.
Shout out to Mike from Ridgetown who's tuning in tonight. There's a curveball. Vasilanic pops it straight up on the infield. And that's an adventure. That's everywhere here. And now Reyes Cruz. Arias thought for a minute he might be called in to swallow it up. Now Reyes Cruz takes a minute and says, man, did you see that?
It looked like the ball was a pop fly to either short or second when it went up. And he caught the ball just to the left from our vantage point of the mound. So he went a long way for that ball.
Wow. Yeah, and did not look comfortable doing it. Hey, shout out again to Mike from Ridgetown. Thanks for tuning in. A fan of Seth Strong. We appreciate you tuning in on the YouTube channel tonight and keeping an eye the best we can as the game goes on to some of the conversation in the live chat tonight. Back to the top of the order. 2 for 2 on the night is Spencer Marcus. He's got a runner on second with 2 outs, and he'll swing through the first pitch.
Good pitch. Hard slider. Right where he wanted it. Just off the plate. Low and away.
Big veteran pitcher, has played some professional ball. A 2022 All-Star. Marcus to right field. Reichstein will get there. He'll catch it waist high. And they'll get the majors out of the inning. Another Base hit, a double for Kemble, but they can't score the run. 4-2 Majors. You're watching Barnstormers Baseball Live from Fergie Field, brought to you by Kent and Essex Mutual Insurance, your trusted Ontario mutual insurance provider.
Whether you're commercial, industrial, or residential, Enyo Pest Advisors are here with passion and integrity to help. Call us for a no-obligation quote today, 226-627-4944. Enyo, bigger than bugs.
People maybe have heard of or they've seen it in a movie where the funeral, the gathering is right at the home. Or it's on the farm, it's in the backyard or something. And so some people would be hesitant to ask, maybe think that you're not allowed or there's laws involved. Of course you could do this at home, and we can help you do it.
Top of the fifth inning, back at Fergie Jenkins Field. It's Barnstormers Baseball Live, presented by Kent and Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider. And a strike to the leadoff batter, Caden Cardoso, here in the top of the fifth inning. Chris McLeod, Ed Myers, and Paul Allen joins us here in the top of the fifth. Kenny Williams kicks and deals, and ahead 0-2 on our first batter. Ed, I'll let you do the introduction. You know this guy.
I sure do. Paul Allen was a resident of Chatham. Was a product of Chatham Minor Baseball. Was on the 1956 Bantam All-Star OBA Championship team. He played here until, we were 18 or 19?
Left in 1960.
Okay.
But don't forget, it was also on the 1957 and 1958 OBA.
Oh, right. That goes on and on. The thing that's interesting about Paul is he went on to play for the London Majors, and during that time, he's taught phys ed in Petrolia, lives in Ottawa, and has written 2 books. And the one that was most recent, he wants to talk a little bit about tonight. It involves the Intercounty League, and I'll leave that open to you, Paul.
Okay.
Yeah, not a big deal, eh? What an introduction.
Yeah. Well, he forgot 2 years.
Yeah, you don't let those 2 championships get away, Ed.
Played in Chatham, played on an OBA championship.
It's my age.
Yeah, right.
Kenny Williams gets a strikeout to the first batter, Cardoso. The Oleo is up now, and Williams gets one inside. Haggett has got to come to it, and that's going to drop in front of him. And another runner on. This will be the 3rd time on base for Dolio. The catch tonight. He's come around to score both times.
That wind made it look a little difficult too.
Yeah, another ball
knocked it down.
Dropped real quick. So the book you wrote, Paul, what was it called?
Well, the title is Bright Lights, Black Stars. And the kind of subtitle is Negro League Players in Canada's oldest baseball league. And I wrote the book mostly because of going to a couple of London Majors, and
There's a shot to sell it in a double play. Ed, hold on to that. You're good luck here up in the booth. 1-2-3 inning, and there's Trent Sillett again, and we talked about his glove, and he gets a double play unassisted. 4-2 out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the fifth. It's Barnstormers Baseball Live from Fergie Jenkins Field. Back with more here at Fergie Field. Brought to you by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider. Bottom of five back at Fergie Jenkins Field. It's Barnstormers Baseball Live, presented by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider. Anthony Paulo will be the leadoff batter. It's Chris McLeod, Ed Myers, and Paul Allen is in the booth with us. And Paul, you've been good luck here. We had a quick 1-2-3 inning, maybe the quickest inning we've had so far.
Yeah, against my old team. I played 9 years with these guys, but you notice that I'm wearing a CK hat. I left the London Major hat in the car.
You got a connection, obviously, from Chatham. You played for the London Majors. There's a ball outside. Bright Lights, Black Stars is the name of the book you wrote. And obviously tonight, honoring the Chatham Colored All-Stars, it really kind of fits that we get you up here in the booth tonight.
And that's why Dom asked me to come down. And yeah, it's a big connection. And of course, I'm so proud of being a Chatham minor baseball graduate, and my coaches and the service clubs did a lot for young people like me. And that was one of the reasons why I wrote the book, because I thought with Chatham entering with Chatham entering the inter-county, all I heard when I was younger playing was stories about these great players. So I thought that's a good story. Yep. And I talked to a lot of guys who are much older, and I've got lots of stories, did a lot of research, and everybody that's got the book, I think, has enjoyed it. It's a history. There's stories. There's little anecdotes about players and things. So it's been a good ride, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. Get a chance to meet people like you and go to a couple ball games.
2-2 the count to Polowick, and he'll swing through that one.
I noticed in your book, Paul, you made reference to Jack Beer, Joe Baychard, Willie, and Bruno Casanova. There's quite a connect there between London and Chatham. You want to elaborate on the role of minor baseball supervisors in Chatham?
Yeah, and how fortunate at my age group that we were coached by 4 former intercounty players. 2 of them were professionals. Willie was in the Yankee organization, and Bruno was in the Cardinal organization. And Baychard didn't, but he was a batting champion and played at Michigan State.
Chop back to the pitch.
And of course, Jack Bears was the premier coach at Western for years. Johnny Metris was the head football coach, but the brains behind it was always Jack Bears. He was the fundamentalist, and I got a chance to talk to him at some of the reunions, and he gave me a lot of information about the book. But I have a lot of respect for all of my coaches.
Can you recall what year Jack Pierce was in Chatham? Was it 1952, 51, somewhere in there?
He was here in 53 when the Pee Wee All-Stars won an OBA, the first Chatham OBA championship.
Seekin's going to come across and get Patel at first, moving set strong to second.
I think it was a certain irony to the fact that we hired 4 inter-county league players to come to Chatham to set up our travel baseball program.
Yeah.
And I certainly benefited from all 4.
Yeah, well, you were a minor baseball supervisor.
When I returned, I did that for about 4 years.
And then Ronnie Corstein chip in there every once in a while?
Yep.
Yeah, I know we Chatham guys, the strength of the Chatham program has been that the town and the recreation committee would put money into these men to help people, and I think it's more than baseball, Eddie. I think most of us, knock on wood, have been pretty good citizens and involved, and done a lot of things.
Just going to get away from Duoli. It's a strike, but off the glove of the catcher. It's set strong, moves to third.
Well, the Chatham minor system certainly had a string of OBA championships. I was fortunate enough to be with a group of guys that won 8 in a row.
Yeah, I know.
From Pee Wee through to juvenile. And certainly it was the system that was introduced by Jack Pierce and followed by Bill Bayshard and Casanova brothers.
Doesn't have enough. It doesn't look like it. He'll get underneath of it. And now we'll end the inning. We'll see if Paul can stick around a little bit. Yeah, sure. We'll go to the top of the 6th. The Barnstormers trailing the Majors by a score of 4-2. You're watching Barnstormers Baseball Live from Briggy Jenkins Field, presented by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
Every family, every asset, every business we insure is a chapter in our story. We listen with open hearts, understanding that behind every insurance policy is a unique narrative. It's not just about numbers, it's about your dreams, your aspirations, your life. We take over your risks so you can live life to the fullest. Because we're not just some insurance people behind a desk, we are part of a community that has your back.
Whether you're commercial, industrial, or residential, Enyo Pest Advisors are here with passion and integrity to help. Call us for a no-obligation quote today, 226-627-4944. Enyo, bigger than bugs.
Williams coming along. 21 pitches for Williams, or rather 2 innings pitched, 18 pitches for Kenny, 16 of them strikes. 16 strikes, 2 balls. Kenny Williams has been just filling that strike zone. He's given up 2 hits, no runs. Williams in for his 3rd. Starling Joseph is 2 for 2. And he's now behind 0-2. Chris McLeod, Ed Myers, Paul Allen in the booth with us here. Former Chatham native, played for the London Majors, and now lives in Ottawa, right?
Yes, sir. I'm in the nation's capital, but when we travel out west, we don't tell anybody that because they think I'm the problem for Cactus. And it's not me.
You're the guy we talked to?
We were talking in between innings, Paul, about some of the people in Chatham were worried whether the Barnstormers would be accepted into the city and the communities of Chatham-Kent, because they thought that Chatham was a hockey town, and I have said that Chatham is a baseball town. Any comments on that?
Well, for years, I mean, the history of baseball in Chatham is anybody that's done any research has done well. That's a great play if he gets it. That's a great play. Well, you know, the first year that the Maroons were in the International Hockey League, they won the championship. It was right after the war, as soon as they built the arena. And they were the Chatham-St. Clair Maroons. And Fred Liddy had an appliance store right across from Goddard's Chick Hatchery. And, you know, he brought in a lot of players and gave them jobs. And going to a hockey game in Chatham was the place to go. It was exciting stuff.
The minor system had a lot of successes over the years for baseball. You care to elaborate on that?
Well, I was telling you when I did research for this book, looking at the Chatham background, I think, and I could be corrected, that Chatham has won 66 OBA championships. And I don't think any other city in the province has won that number of championships.
And we're very proud that we have two members in the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame, Fergie Jenkins and Doug Melvin. And the gentleman I mentioned earlier, Ron Stead, who pitched for the Red Sox, was also a member of the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and I don't know whether he was born in Chatham.
Toronto.
Was he Toronto? Okay. He did have a Chatham connection probably when he worked here with Union Gas.
Yeah, he moved, transferred from Union Gas.
He was quite a pitcher. He played pro, but he came back. And I tell you, when the Brantford team won 5 in a row, Ronnie said he was the premier pitcher. He was up to hit, Eddie. He was up, down, in, out, change speeds. Really good ball player.
Yep. Chris Minsky doesn't like that call. Has a conversation with Stephen Gomes, the umpire. Count is even 2-2, and Kenny Williams is humming. And Chris Minsky's got a swing. That's a foul ball out of play.
One thing I'd like to share a story. When I played here, and I'm a little older than Eddie, one of the guys was Don Wakabayashi that I played with. That's Mel's older brother.
Yep.
And we were playing Hamilton in this ballpark.
Sid going to get through the hole.
And Donnie was playing center field, and you know, the fence wasn't like this, but those telephone poles out there. And he chased the ball right center field and hit the telephone pole. And down he went, and he was bruised, and he didn't play, and they wrapped up his leg the next day, and we had another game against Hamilton. And we were behind, and Casanova, I think it was Bruno, said, "Donnie, can you hit?" And he could hardly walk. He said, "Sure, I'll give it a try." And he gets a hit. Knocks in a run. He has to make it. He has to get to first base, right? To count that run. And he falls. and he gets up and he falls again. And he drags himself. And the guy gets the ball and throws it behind the first baseman. And Donnie's got an extra base. And he falls down and he crawls. And he gets to second base. And we win the ball game. And Donnie Wakabayashi did the... You remember when Gibson hit that home run?
Oh, yeah.
And he was pumping his arms and he was injured? Well, that was like Donnie Wakabayashi. And that was one of the memories I have when I ever see that park. At this ballpark, I look out there and I think of Don Wakabayashi. What guts that he had.
Quite a family of athletes.
Oh, wow.
As you were telling that story, all I could think of was Kirk Gibson, so it's funny.
Well, I mean, you know, but that was a long time ago. But yeah, the Wakabayashis were great ball players. So when I played here, Herbie was our bat boy, and then Herbie went on and he was played junior maroon hockey with Mel, who was the top scorer in the Border League. And when Mel goes to Michigan, Herbie later goes to Boston University. And he also played baseball there. Most people don't know that. He played baseball for Boston University and made the all double play.
Stick around. Stick here in the booth. It's 5.5, brother. It is 4-2. Barnstormers trailing the London Majors. You're watching Barnstormers Baseball Live, presented by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider. These middle innings just chugging along. We're into the bottom of the 6th. It's 4-2 London Majors. Mitsuki Bakuda will stride to the plate, the designated hitter tonight. Barnstormers out hitting the Majors 8-6, but they're trailing in the game 4-2. And Kenny Williams put a big red star next to his night tonight. He's gone 3 innings, and he has been humming. Jose Arias will start the bottom of the 6th. Here's a ball high, and this has been an adventure all night. And Right Style will get underneath of it.
It's really moving.
Eliminate Fukuda as that wind is just blowing in here. Chris McLeod admires. Paul Allen still with us. Paul, the writer of the Bright Lights, Black Stars, a book that, where do we find the book, Paul? Where can I get that book?
Dom's going to keep some here for his store. I brought some, so if people are still interested. They can get it on Amazon.
Okay, find it on Amazon.
Got it a few other places, but at Amazon's probably as easy as anything.
Barnstormers wearing the jerseys of the Chatham.
Prime, you don't have to pay shipping.
Amazon.
You don't have it. Your grandkids do.
Exactly.
I was going to ask you a question about your first book, When Tobacco Was King, which your dad was very involved in the tobacco industry in Chatham. And I really enjoyed the story about your dad. He grew up on King Street West, donating the family garage to J.C. Park so they could have a clubhouse at J.C. Park when they're building the park. Could you care to elaborate on that?
Yeah. Well, my dad was from North Carolina. He was from a baseball playing family. Actually, Ed, my uncle pitched for the Durham Bulls in the inaugural season of the Carolina League.
Oh, really?
And he was a tobacco farmer, so he only did home games. And of course, the tobacco business was where the money came from. So there was a lot of interest in baseball. And when the JCs bought that property over where Roy Babcock lived and built that ballpark, they needed a clubhouse. And my dad was in the process of putting 2 garages on either side of that house that he bought in Chatham. If you go down there, it's 568 King Street West, and it's right next to where Peter Cobb is. So he donated the wooden garage, and it stayed wooden for years, and then I think they bricked it over. So it was something that he did because he loved baseball. And
I think that was an interesting story. And Chris, you were involved in JCs in recent years. The end of the JCs were running their course. You were the president of the JCs.
Since the JC ended, Chatham-Kent,
Yeah.
last president.
Well, I remember my sport coach when I was 10 years old in 1952 was Clayton Leach, who was a member of the JCs. Oh. And that's how important those people were to us. You can still remember all those years back what great guys they were.
My wife was his babysitter. He lived 2 doors down on Symington Drive.
This is like a full history lesson we're getting.
Yeah, well.
Baseball and Chatham-Kent in general here.
That's right.
Campbell throw him behind the runner.
They got him. Yeah. You know, another family that was instrumental in sports here was the Babcock family. Like Ross Babcock was Larry Babcock's father. He was very involved in sports. But his father, Larry's grandfather, Roy, was kind of like the main groundskeeper and equipment man when JC's Park started. And the Babcocks, did a lot for the city. And I remember Roy took care of that ballpark, and it was immaculate at that time.
Ross lived across the street, and his dad lived on Harvey Street.
Yep.
And so it was a short walk for them. And Ross's brother, they called him Tiny. I'm trying to think of his real first name. Also assisted.
That's going to do it for 6. Runner picked off. 4-2 Majors continue to lead. Arias is moving along too. We go to the 7th. It's 4-2 Majors. Barnstormers Baseball presented by Canada Mutual Insurance. Ontario's trusted insurance. Barnstormers Baseball Live from Bakersfield, presented by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider. Garrett Day is into the game, but we can't go any further than without talking about Kenny Williams, who goes 3 innings pitched, gives up no runs, 3 strikeouts, and 2 hits overall. 32 pitches, 28 of them strikes. We talk all season about getting strikes, getting ahead in the batter, and not giving up any free bags. And Kenny Williams just right there comes out and throws darts for 3 innings.
It's a different game when you're up to bat and you're behind. Yeah. And a lot of things can happen when you're behind. As a batter.
That's
a lot of bad things happen when you get behind.
Yeah.
A lot of players made a lot of money on 2-0 and 3-1 pitches.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Island's in the booth with us here tonight, along with Ed Myers. I'm Chris McLeod, top of 7 now. And Victor Plaz, the leadoff hitter, third baseman. Garrett Day is into the game.
He overthrew that one.
It's maybe the earliest we've seen Garrett all year. He's been a late inning pitcher.
8th or 9th innings, yeah.
Pitcher from Chatham. Probably going to win the Barnstormers golf tournament, I would guess.
No, he's a very good golfer. Graduated from Wayne State University on a golf scholarship. Paul, you remember Ross Day? That would be his great uncle.
Really?
Yep.
My goodness.
Chatham guy.
I was at the Maple City today with Eddie Robbins and Dick Harry. And gosh, did I love it. I went in there and I saw pictures of Ron Denemy and Larry Babcock, and, the presidents of the golf course. And I was telling Eddie Robbins, I said, when they built that golf course, my dad bought the second bond or membership.
Do you remember what was in left field here?
Yeah, it was a golf course.
That was a golf course. That was the forerunner of Maple City. Chatham Golf and Country Club was in left field of Rotary Park.
I know when I played, there weren't any balls hit over that left field pins. Right center, but not left field.
Towards second, Polowick down, and he'll get it to first. Reports the out. 4-3 put out, and the Barnstormers right down at the top of the 7th.
Got a chance to talk to Earl Chase today, and that's the great.
Chase's son?
Yeah. And I reminded him in the 50s we had a city championship. We had won the OBA. We were 15 years old, and we played the senior team at Sterling Park because Archie Sterling was the mayor, and he arranged it, and we beat him. What I remember about it is that Earl Chase hit a home run. And I told him that. He said, I remember that. You young kids beat us, didn't you? I said, well, we had some pretty good pitching, Earl.
When you talk about history, there's a lot of baseball played at Sterling Park. Those people in the area don't realize where Sterling Park is. We talked a little bit about it earlier. Right up until midget, we played our travel baseball at Sterling Park. And the 34 colored All-Stars, the Chatham Panthers, you recall the Chatham Panthers played there in the 50s.
Chatham-Kent concrete.
Yep.
2-1 the count. Day to Osika, and he'll line Patel into the gap. That gets over to cut it off. Osika's going to round hard, and they'll hold him at 1.
Stories of Flat Chase hitting home runs in Sterling Park over the center field fence. They cleared some houses and landed on a street out there.
Yeah, Park Street center field was a poke.
Yeah, well, this man held records for longest home runs in various parks. Strathroy, Dresden. He hit one. There's no fence in Dresden when he played, and he hit it out of the park, over the road, and landed on the top of the library, which is still standing today. Now, if you ever go to Dresden, walk that one off.
Okay, yeah.
Plus, he hit one here.
I remember assisting with walking off with Eddie Robbins. How far was that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he hit one here that.
It's on the move. Cardoso swings away. That goes foul down the left field line. A hit run on there.
Flat hit one over here, and as we Chatham people know, there's a Kinsman. There's a track there at a football field.
Yep.
And a Canadian football field is 65 yards wide, so do the math, times 3. So he hits it over like 295, plus 3 times 65, 185. It hit the asphalt where the old Kinsman Auditorium was and rolled and hit the arena.
That's a long way.
A fairly long way.
This is what happens when you're in the booth with 2 teachers. They still work math into it. Cardoso will
yeah, you got it.
cut it off. He tried to bluff Osika to hold him just the advancement there. So now 2 runners on. Top of the 7th, they back-to-back singles. And here comes Chase Dolio, the catcher. Stormers have allowed him to get on base 3 times tonight. He's come around to score once. He got on the last time up and got picked off on a line drive, doubled up.
Yes.
Day, chop back up the middle, chance for a double play. Patel comes across, got
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And good luck on the season. And I do pick up your streaming every once in a while in Ottawa. And it's nice to be here and a lot of good memories. And I appreciate you having me.
Good time. Bright lights here at Fergie Jenkins Field tonight. 4-2 the score. It's the 7th inning stretch brought to you by Four Diamond Catering Events from Fergie Jenkins Field. Seventh inning stretch in the books. We're into the bottom of the 7th. Torrin Vasilenic will start for the Barnstormers. It's Fergie Jenkins Field hosting Barnstormers Baseball Live tonight, presented by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider. Pitching has been outstanding since the 3rd inning. Aiden Ryan touched up for 4 runs through 3. Kenny Williams comes in, lights out for 3. The defense has been strong since that 3rd inning. Ed, Paul Allen should have stuck around.
Yeah, things just flew. Third baseman has sort of moved in a little bit, but a timely bunt here might be timely, but not offered.
It's been a tight game here tonight. Barnstormers have out-hit the Majors 8-6, 8-8 now. And there's a swing and a miss. 5th strikeout of the night. And Vasilenic goes down again here. Coming into the inning, 73 innings pitched, 73 pitches rather, thrown for Jose Arias. 2 runs allowed, 8 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Give him 5 now. With Spencer Marcus, the leadoff hitter, to come back and start the order here in the bottom of the 7th.
That's what happens with experience. If you notice him, his arm slot is identical every time he throws the ball.
Marcus with a dart to right. Reichstein has to reach back over his left shoulder. He was turning right. And he'll swallow that up and pull it in. Marcus retired for the second time tonight. He's 2-for-4. Was a liner to right. Hit that ball hard.
Did it. He waited on it and went with the pitch. And a good hitter for the Barnstormers.
Holloway 0 for 3 of the night. Struck out last time up in the 5th. Seth Strong, the offense for the Barnstormers, as he has done a lot of nights, hitting his 9th home run and his 22nd RBI to lead the IBL. And I think that ball just landed about 2 minutes ago. He hit that a ton. And that one right back out of Arias' leg. Paulo going to hustle. Arias going to stay with it. And he's going to hobble towards the dugout, see if he can get some attention. Paulo hit that hard.
Looks like it hit him just below the knee.
So that's going to get them out of the inning. He'll get looked at. We'll see if Arias returns. The Barnstormers go down quickly in the bottom of the 7th, still trailing 4-2. Top 8 coming up. Barnstormers Baseball Live from Fergie Jenkins Field, presented by Kent and Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
Whether you're commercial, industrial, or residential, Enyo Pest Advisors are here with passion and integrity to help. Call us for a no-obligation quote today, 226-627-4944. Enyo, bigger than bugs.
From beginning, middle, and end, the personal touch is crucial. Your ideas are worth listening to, and they're probably the best way to go because you know your story, you know your family's story, you know what's going to work best for the gathering, the context, the space, the music, all of those kind of things. People are feeling like, oh, I have permission to do what we want for Dad, and we get to say, yeah, of course you do. This is your dad.
Top of the 8th inning, Majors up. And we're just finishing an on-field promotion. Looks like the 50-50 draw, so Brian Reichstein will step out. Reichstein having to wait for the 50-50 here. IBL All-Star voting is underway. You can go to the IBL.ca and vote for your Barnstormers or whomever you think deserves a spot in the IBL. All-Star game coming up in Welland, and that game is going to be on July 20th. It's a Saturday night. They had to wait for the 50-50 draw. Reichstein stepped out. The third base coach wasn't even on the field yet, so now he's positioned, and they're ready to go. Top of 8 now. Garrett Day stays on his second inning of work. He'll get a strike to start off Reichstein. Reichstein, the right fielder. We just saw him have to chase Spencer Marcus's shot to right field and had to reach back over his shoulder to make the catch. He's behind 0-1. And not going to get the call there. Bring the family out to the ballpark. A full weekend of games, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, holiday Monday. You can purchase your tickets online now at ckbarnstormers.com. And there are tickets available. You can get them right at the gate. So if you decide late and you're like, hey, I'm going to come in, and maybe if it's at the first inning, come on by here and Tweedsmuir and Queening. Join us for a Barnstormers baseball.
So many people were confused at the beginning, and they said they were sold out. They meant for season tickets.
Still it diving, stops. Is he going to get there? He will get there in time.
He can play first base. Yeah.
What a night. Trent Sillett has been Gold Glove at first tonight.
Yep. It was to his throwing hand, and he crossed over and came up with the ball and beat the runner to the base, and excellent play.
Reichstein is positioned on first. Rup Chanderdat, the manager, is out to discuss. I'm not sure what the conversation is about. It looked like pretty cut and dry.
Well, we know there won't be a replay.
No, guarantee that. Chanderdat doesn't agree with the call from John Thompson, the first base umpire, and Reichstein will exit stage right. And Sillett, who has been just outstanding tonight. I got a couple of red stars here on my lineup card from a nice play by Seth Strong. Sillett's made a couple of nice plays tonight, too.
Yep. As I said earlier, they really anchor the first and third base position, and occasionally the DH. They've been solid all year.
I want to say that might be his fourth unassisted play of the night. Couple of balls hit back to him. One diving and then one double play. Starling Joseph can't check his swing. That's fouled off right into Kemble. Sorry, Ed, we were talking about season tickets. Yes, season tickets are sold out.
Yes, but that doesn't mean all tickets are sold out.
No.
Season tickets are in the grandstand, and you can come any night and buy a ticket at the gate and sit in the outside the main grandstand and or stand or do whatever you want and enjoy the activity. Lots of things go on here. If you haven't been here yet, you need to get out here.
And we're saying that. We want you to stay home and watch the games, but let's get you out here. Let's get you games sometime this summer. Obviously, kids out of school as of Thursday, so yeah, get out to the ballpark. Games all weekend. First season for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. Popped up on the infield. Sillett gets underneath of it, and yes, golden again.
I was thinking of the balls in here. I hope we didn't put the curse on him.
Yes.
He didn't. Pretty sure-handed.
Comments on the YouTube tonight about the defense. It's been untouchable tonight. It has been good. Very good defense, although each team has got an error. And for the Barnstormers, the error really kind of put them in a hole as two of the runs were unearned. Trailing 4-2. And Day smoked to right at Vasilenic. He's going to short hop it. Had thoughts of going to first. He'll just keep it in front of him. And as Tommy Reyes Cruz will get his first hit of the night, and a smoker to right.
Cut that one up a bit.
Goes up.
Yeah, he's cut it up in the strike zone, and he didn't miss it. Good swing.
So with that hit, Majors will now hit the edge in that hit column tonight, 9-8. We still have the 4-2 edge overall in the game. Kresminski's been on base a couple of times. Did ground out to first in his first at bat. Garrett Day looks over his shoulder. Reyes Cruz leads off, not going, and they'll catch the outside corner.
Here's around the plate all the time. He sort of throws three quarters. The ball tails away from left-handed batters, and he's around the plate. He doesn't miss very often.
Speaking of not miss very often, our official scorer, Dan Dominguez, is telling me that 13 putouts for Trent Sillett tonight.
Really? He's had an outstanding game. If you're watching, you'll notice him.
Reyes Cruz gets the lead. Sillett holds him on. 1-1 the count. Kresminski will throw over to first. And Sillett thought they had him.
Almost had another putout.
Sillett thought he had him. He was leaning.
Yeah. I remember Harry Muir telling us the first time we talked to him, our exhibition game, that you're not going to find many better first basemen than Sillett.
Yeah. He's not going to win any foot races, he said.
No.
But he'll certainly play a heck of a first base. 1-1 the count. He's going now. Kemble up throwing. Ball short. What toss, Kemble. A dart to second. Reyes Cruz out cut stealing. 4-2. Barnstormers come up swinging now. Barnstormers bottom of the eighth coming up. It's Barnstormers Baseball Live from Fergie Jenkins Field, presented by Canada Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider. Here we are, bottom of the 8th. Barnstormers need to get some offense going. Jose Arias has been relieved of his duties tonight after 7 innings, 8 hits allowed, 2 earned runs. It was a 2-run shot by this guy, Seth Strong, who dented his numbers for the day today. And Strong will lead off this inning, a left-handed Christian Coombs into the game to face 3 lefties for the Barnstormers. Coombs comes in. This just his 3rd game of the year, 7.71 ERA, 1-0 on the year, and just 4.2, 4 2/3 innings pitched for the London Majors. And he comes in a tough spot here as the Barnstormers have been playing some outstanding defense. We've seen a great game tonight for both sides.
Real
Really.
good ball, yeah. It was, and I'm wondering, Arias got stung with a line drive at the end of the last inning. How much that's factored into his leaving the game? He got hit hard. Looked like below the knee with a line drive.
78 pitches tonight for the starter. Coombs in, and Strong is ahead 3-0. And this is definitely not someone you want to leave a ball hanging out over the plate for. So he'll be careful, followed by Battelle and Haggis, 3 lefties.
Have him swing or not? 3-0.
See, let him keep that bat in the shoulder. Let's get him on base and see what they can do. Side Strong follows orders. Seth Strong, one of the top power hitters in the IBL so far this season, and he's positioned down at first. Dan Battelle, the former Major now, looks back into the dugouts. Down by 2, bottom of 8. Barnstormers have yet to defeat the Majors. 4th matchup of the year now.
Battelle has been consistently around 300 last year with the Majors and this year with the Barnstormers.
Outside gets a strike, his first strike. Another message on the YouTube saying, watching from Bora Bora. Really, you could tell us anything. We're gonna believe you. Right, the gullible bunch here. Coombs kicks and deals. Way outside. Diolio.
Will take a walk if he wants to cooperate.
Now there's a delay here.
Trying to get the lefties to commit to the outside slider. 3 lefties in a row.
Coombs had a bracelet on or something. He's removing now, and he'll stuff it in the pocket. Settle back into the mound. 1-1 the count to Battelle. Olio, the catcher, relays the signs. Strong gets his lead. Coombs looks over. Base put, Battelle swinging.
Same pitch.
I think it's been anything but that pitch.
That's why he's throwing every pitch as a slider out of the strike zone, away from the left-handed batters, which is a good pitch for him, but left-handed batters are going to have to adjust if they want to make contact.
Battelle slices one to left and it'll drop.
He waited on it and made good contact.
Dan Battelle's first time on tonight. Did reach actually in an error, so a second time on. And the Barnstormers are cooking. Bottom of the 8th now. First 2 get on, and Braxton Haggith will stride to the plate. Another lefty. Bakuda is on deck. On a day that started miserable with rain and some driving winds, sunshine came out, dried things up. We got ourselves a great night for baseball here tonight. They didn't take batting practice on the field. Each team went into the cage.
We were talking early this morning, about 11 o'clock. It didn't look very good for this game to be played tonight, but cleared up.
Great night, good crowd on hand. Haggith turns to bunt. The wheel play on as Osika was trying to get in behind to cover first for Cardoso. Plaz will charge from third. 1-0 the count. Haggith. They get bat here, bottom of the 8th. 4-2, the Barnstormers trail. Crowd goes quiet. Coombs. Bunts right at the third baseman. That'll go foul.
You knew what to do with that. Once it got foul, you grab it. Don't let it come back in. The people who have played some ball, it's where it finishes up. Not
Yeah.
just because it started foul, where it comes to rest is where you make the call fair or foul.
And you'll see that ball sometimes on occasion will roll back in. So, yeah.
Well, some of the major league parks, they used to have grounds crews that could
Slope it,
yeah.
lope it away.
Yeah, the ball looked like it was going way foul, would end up going to the shortstop.
1-1 the count on Haggith. Coombs looks back at Strong. Haggith turns early. Doesn't offer, and Strong gets a good lead as Reyes Cruz was wheeling in behind Plaz. So Strong had a good look at that pitch.
It's always a tough call on defense whether or not you're going to send the third baseman in and have the shortstop cover third, or have the third baseman hold and the pitcher covers the bunt that way to toward third base.
Haggith 2-1 while he looked to bunt here. He's going to turn early. Trying to get that bunt down. That's going to catch the outside. Haggith didn't offer at it. 2-2 now. And you look into the dugouts. Will they try to bunt a third time on that 2-strike pitch? We'll see. It's not the common strategy. Haggith now, he's ready to hit. Coombs. No kick and deal. 4-2, Majors lead. Swing and a miss. He'll get him swinging. Couldn't get the bunt down. And Coombs will haul back, and look like a fastball will beat him.
I think it's the first fastball he's thrown.
I think so. Bakuda now on a big at bat with 2 runners on. Couldn't get those runners over.
There is some action in the London bullpen.
Warming up is Henry, as Jonathan Henry ready to relieve if needed. Bakuda, the right-handed batter, against the lefty Coombs. Bakuda up the middle, and it gets over the head. Strong had to hold, and it's going to get by Joseph. Strong will round. Here he comes. Throw from the outfield to Olio. And score.
The Panda picked. He can run.
He had to. Bakuda, good base running, will head to second.
No?
Coming around to third, Dan Patel, and the Barnstormers with 2 in scoring position. Big hit by Bakuda will drive in the third run for the Barnstormers.
Sillett has been very effective at going the other way so far this year. We'll see if he can get a pitch on the outside and punch it to right field. Would be very timely in this situation.
Infield in for Sillett. Runners second and third, Coombs. Inside pitch. That's going to be a single and an error on the center fielder for Fukuda to move him to second. Run will score, the second run of the night for Seth Strong. Outside, Coombs. Sillett works the count 2-0. No RBI for Fukuda on the error. Brent Sillett, who's been in on at least 13, 14 putouts on the field. Defensively, he's been a gem. Barnstormers fans trying to get something going. Coombs, inside strike.
Like Sillett's looking at something over the plate, and I say he very comfortably goes the other way.
Big lead for Fukuda. Nobody watching him at second. He should be able to score on a single. He is right behind the shortstop now, and that catches the outside corner. 2-2. Barnstormer fans getting on the home plate umpire. Stephen Gomes has heard it all night. Barnstormers have closed the gap to 1 in the bottom of the 8th. 2-2 the count. Infield, regular depth. Infield in. They get on the grass. Dillett, that goes to the right side, hard off the mesh. Cardoso will play it like a batted ball, throw it out of play. 2-2. Lefty trying to get the crowd going here tonight, sticking around into the 8th. Stormers down by 1. And that was an off-speed pitch, and he just fouled it off to stay alive.
looks comfortable up there. He's not lunging at anything, and he's still following the ball and spoiling some pitches.
Goshen College, kid from London. First baseman for the Barnstormers in a big spot here. And that's outside to push the count full. Waiting on deck is catcher Kemble, who threw out a runner at the top of the 8th.
Key advantage in this situation is first base is not occupied, therefore it's got to be a tag play, and if he can get the ball moving, good chance to score the runner from third.
Sillett, count is full. Coombs looks in, he's got the sign. Patel trying to get in his head, running down the line. And he'll swing and a miss. That was going to be ball 4 outside. Coombs has gotten a couple of strikeouts here in the 8th. Infielders can now back up, play at regular depth. Greg Kemble, the Barnstormer veteran. What does he bring to the game here tonight? Picked off a runner at first, threw at a runner trying to score or trying to steal second. The 34-year-old catcher in a big spot in the 8th. Right down the pipe. Dan Batellis charging down that line. As a lefty, Coombs doesn't have eyes on him. Patel trying to make him uncomfortable. That one high and outside. Leo got up to protect it. That's the one thing here about Fergie Jenkins Field. Not a lot of room behind the plate. So that ball gets away.
And you got to watch that brick wall because it's coming back at you about as hard as it came in.
Yeah, Patel's getting a good lead, trying to see if that's going to get by him. 1-1 the count to Kemble. Infield back on the grass now. The outfield grass. Inside, 2-1. Close call there. Ruth Chanderdat, the owner, GM, manager, is pacing in front of his dugout. He's back and forth. He hasn't stopped yet. Kemble looks out to the mound. Coombs the lefty. 9 in the count, 2-1. Another ball outside. It goes 3-1. Torin Vasilunic, the right fielder, is on deck. Couple of strikeouts in the inning for Coombs.
Hitters count 3-1, so he can be selective. Doesn't have to swing. If he sees something to his liking, something the right center would be very timely.
Make it 3-2. Coombs has got a couple strikeouts to soften the blow so far.
Got to really guard the plate in this situation.
Here comes Coombs. Ball outside. He'll walk him full. And Torin Vasilunic. Chanderdat will stride to the mound slowly. And it may be going to the bullpen here. Looks like Jonathan Henry might be ready. And he's going to take the ball from Coombs, and Coombs will exit. Stage right. Gives up a run in the 8th. Couple of strikeouts, though. Just 2/3 of an inning. And Jonathan Henry will be the reliever to take his spot. Henry from Whitby. Played last year with the Regina Red Sox and the London Majors.
People from Chatham-Kent maybe remember the Whitby Dunlops from yesteryear, or the power in senior hockey in the 60s. Quite popular hockey town.
And now we'll get the Barnstormers first baseman, Charles, who will make his first appearance. Then he's the batting coach, also the first base coach. And Charles comes out. We've had a couple of players man the first base spot tonight, but now they've got the regular eyes out there down on the first base coaching box. Jonathan Henry into the game. Torin Vasilenic will be your batter. Patel at third, Bakuda at second, Kemble at first. So you got two catchers on the base path. You got your shortstop over at third, and you got your right fielder, Vasilenic. With the bases juiced, down by one. Henry a little wild in his warm-ups. Let's see what he can bring to the plate here. Vasilenic in a big spot. Hole on the left side. Plaz protects the line. And a off-speed pitch right down the pipe. Vasilenic behind 0-1.
Good pitch. Spun it a bit. Pretty much over the middle of the plate.
Hangs that right arm down beside him. Vasilenic looks in. Does he go? No. They look down to first. They wave it off. 386 earned run average in 7 innings for Henry so far this season. Vasilenic playing his first game in right this year. 9th hitter. Patel comes way down the line. Vasilenic doesn't go. Look down, and they're going to wave it off again. 2-1.
Teasing him. He's right on the outside part of the plate, trying to get him to commit.
Chanderdat not too happy with the first base umpire. Vasilenic looks out to the mound. Vasilenic turns on one, and that goes into the bullpen. Got around on it quick.
He looks like the pitch he wanted. Inside, a little high. He certainly turned on it.
Well, June 18th, bases loaded. Garrett Day came in and he walked in the winning run on a walk-off for the Majors. Barnstormers looking to turn the tide here against the team they've yet to defeat this year. 0-3. 2-2 the count, 2 outs. Vasilenic swings and a miss. 3 strikeouts for the Barnstormers. They score 1. They get close, but they're still trailing by 1. Let's go to the top of the 9th. It's been a barn burner one for the Barnstormers tonight. Fergie Jenkins Field, it's baseball, Barnstormers baseball, presented by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
Every family, every asset, every business we insure is a chapter in our story. We listen with open hearts, understanding that behind every insurance policy is a unique narrative. It's not just about numbers, it's about your dreams, your aspirations, your life. We take over your risks so you can live life to the fullest. Because we're not just some insurance people behind a desk. We are part of a community that has your back.
Into the 9th inning. Garrett Day stays on the mound. Barnstormers baseball from Fergie Jenkins Field on a beautiful night for baseball, which if you told me that 6 hours ago, I don't think that would have been the case.
I said earlier when we talked with each other earlier this morning, about 11 o'clock, it was pouring rain, wanting to know if the game was going to be taking place.
Yeah, there was question, and even amongst the Barnstormers, if the game was going to take place today. And it obviously, sun came out, the wind came out, dried up the field. They worked hard to get it ready for the game. And still at that, it was supposed to be a hot, humid night. Tonight's turned out to be just absolutely perfect for a ball game. Barnstormers would only like to change the scoreboard as they're trailing 4-3. They've out-hit the Majors. They've got 10-9. Majors have made 2 errors. Barnstormers have made 1, but you go back to that 8th inning, they couldn't get a bunt down. Struck out 3 times with runners on base. Hard hit through the hole. Polowick diving, can't get to it. Kuzmenski will hustle down the line. He's got to. Vasilenic tries to throw him out. And that's going to be a single for Kuzmenski. Gets on base to lead off the 9th.
We've talked before that bunting has become a lost art, and I'm a believer in bunting. I think it's an integral part of the game and can be used effectively, but...
We might see one right here with Verhoeven up.
Yeah.
He's bunted earlier. Looks like he might pull that hand down. He calls time as Day waited. You could see that top hand of the bat. Looks like he was sliding up there. Brad Verhoeven, designated hitter. A sack bunt. Got 2 in the night. He's got 1 of them. Well, small ball. Let's see what they can do. Day looks in. Turns to bunt. Big lead off of first. Be careful. Kemble will throw behind. All outside.
Day has to be careful, too. More than one look to first base, or he may find a guy going to second.
Gibson Kuzmenski is the runner at first. Verhoeven turns. Doesn't offer. Outside 2-0. Strong is hustling the third baseman in. Sillett staying at first.
Day's going to have to get off the mound. Obviously, that's the call. He's going to have to go to his left.
He'll fall that way as a righty pitcher. Verhoeven turns to bunt. Doesn't offer at that one. 3-0. They can't find the plate. Kuzmenski leads the inning off with a single.
It's been very consistent all year with throwing strikes, and I have some confidence that he can find the plate, re-find it.
Inside Verhoeven, and that'll be ball 4. Had to jump out of the way of that one. And now 2 on to bring up the top of the order on a player that just burned the Barnstormers on Sunday. Victor Plaz batting .600 against the Barnstormers coming into the game. He bat 4 for 5 on Sunday. Tonight, they've managed him. Strikeout looking to start the game. Sack bunts and a couple of outs in the 4th and the 7th.
Got a runner for Verhoeven. Number 18, 19.
Number 19, Champ Garner will come in. Garner hit his first IBL home run here. It was a bomb to straight away. So he'll take over at first. And the top of the order up. Barnstormers have the corners in. Sillett is right on top of the batter, and he fouled off right into the hand. And Plaza's had a night. He took a foul ball off the shin, and now he takes a foul ball off the hand. Going to be strike 1 to the leadoff batter.
Not sure if it hit him after he attempted to bunt or what happened.
He's trying to argue with Gomes that it hit him.
But he attempted to bunt.
Yeah.
So
it's all for naught.
if you make the attempt, it's a strike.
Ken Sillett, the first baseman, is looking right down the gut. He's turning early. He's not wasting any time. And he's going to offer at that one, the strike. It's got him 0-2 now. Klaas couldn't get the bunt down.
Little confusion between short and third, as we ended up with two guys at third base.
Strong had retreated back to the bag, and Patel was coming to cover.
Yeah.
So 0-2 the count now. Runners on first and second. Barnstormers trail by 1, top of 9. Swings away, and that goes out of play. Kuzminski was motioning to Plaz. Looked like he was trying to relay a sign, a pitch, or what he was doing. Kuzminski looks over to the third now. Third base coach gives him the sign. Plaz digs in. 0-2, and Day will look back.
Steps up. That's good. Freeze the runners.
Big, long, lanky pitcher Garrett Day. Into his third inning of work. Outside, ball 1. Barnstormer fans have figured out the beaking part of the game. They are certainly chirping away with the majors, and it wouldn't take long for this rivalry to heat up. 4th game of the season. And Platt will go down swinging. Big strikeout. His second time out of the night.
Huge pitch. Slider. Broke out of the strike zone. He committed and struck him out. Well done.
Tristan Osika now, the second baseman who singled back in the 7th. Stranded at second.
I think every arena and grandstand in Canada has people who you can hear above others.
Yes. I was wondering if it was just the same guy, but apparently got multiples. 1 out. Day will look back. Kuzminski.
Change what you do with a guy in second base. Don't not look, and look once, look twice, step off. Keep him there.
Close, yeah. Patel's sneaking in behind him. Day, outside corner, gets strike 1. Garner, the pinch runner at first. Osika behind in the count. Outside, doesn't get the call. Kuzminski doing what he can to get into Day's head. Jumping and jiving back there at second. Sometimes, though, that has the wrong effect of the batter because you can see that in his eye. Towards second, Polowick late jump, dives to keep it alive, to first, and you get the outs. Another Gold Star play. Anthony Polowick keeps it on the infield and then manages to get the out at first. Still 2 runners on, both in scoring position now. They advance to second and third, but 2 outs with Cardoso now getting a chance to swing. Hayden Cardoso from Vancouver, and they're going to walk him and throw him down at first.
With Diolio coming up, it's quite a decision.
It is. Diolio can certainly run into one. James Diolio, Edward Diolio, sorry. Former New York Yankee farmhand. A first-team All-Star in 2023. Had a 4-home-run game last year versus Kitchener. There's Diolio with 2 outs. Day. And that one chopped to the hole. Strong. He's got time. Across the diamond. Short hop. Sillett with the big play. Trent Sillett. And he has done that all night. Barnstormers look to get one to see if they can tie it up in the 9th. 4-3, Barnstormers baseball. It's been a good one. Brought to you by Kent and Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. They gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming, had to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket. Yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits. Yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no ends. Yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen. Putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my.
Bottom of the ninth, Barnstormers trailing by 1 against the London Majors. And it has been a game tonight, Ed. I'm telling you. Ed Myers, Chris McLeod, Trent Sillett with a big dig to end the ninth. Bases loaded. And Garrett Day pitches out of a jam. And now they need the bats to get going. They left the bases loaded themselves last inning.
At the top of the order, yep. They were thinking the same thing. Thought.
Barnstormer fans trying to get a rally going. Spencer Marcus, the first ever player signed by this team. Fielded Henry, and he'll sky one. Coming over, Cardoso's got a long run, and he's going to settle underneath of it. A foul out to lead off the inning. That was a long run for him, and we have talked about the swirling winds. They seem to have died down quite a bit here in the last few innings, but still
not like earlier innings. No. The ball was sort of going from right to left and swirling.
Anthony Polowick now will try to get on base to get something going for the Barnstormers. On deck is Seth Strong, who will get an at-bat. And we know Seth leads the IBL in home runs, RBIs. He's got a home run tonight. Polowick, did he get all of it? To right field. And settling underneath the right side. Right at the track. Polowick jumped on the first pitch he saw. Right side, and was right back to the wall to keep it in.
Well, it's up to the Panda.
Chanderdat now will come out with a conversation here. Doesn't look like anybody's ready in the bullpen. I think it's going to be Henry to pitch here.
Got your home run leader up to bat. I'm wondering if they're considering walking him, but you never put the tying run on first base, at least the book I read. So we'll see what happens. I've been wrong before.
Strong looks out at Henry. Surveys the situation, 2 outs. Bottom of 9, down by 1, and Polowick just got a thrill by hitting one to right. It just died at the warning
Just
track.
Didn't get it all. Yeah, good swing, made contact. Just didn't get the whole ball.
Henry now against one of the best in the IBL. Now low and outside. Ball's behind. Message from Chanderdat, be careful. Henry says, yeah, no duh. I know this name. I know what's going on. Seth hit one over the field house. Back in the 3rd inning.
Now pitching away from him wisely.
Yeah, don't give him anything inside. Nothing he can turn on. He's been on base all 4 times tonight. 2-0 the count. Outside, strike 1.
Outside corner, which is what you probably should do against the guy who's leading the league in home runs.
Sika, the second baseman, is 10 feet into the outfield. Patel on deck, hoping to get a chance. And they'll stay away from Strong.
The Panda can also run. He scored a run last inning.
He's 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Couple runs scored. A walk in his last time up. 3-1 the count here. And he pops one to right field, right Stein. He's got lots of room. That should be a can of corn, and it will be. Barnstormers hit a couple of long balls in the 9th, but not enough. Henry comes in for the save, and the Majors will win this one 4-3. Ed.
Great game.
That might have been one of the best games
That
we've
was
seen.
the best game this year. Distributed the hits among the Barnstormers. The pitching was consistent, and the game was close, 4-3. And you're going to lose a few, and they certainly represented themselves well tonight. And I would, if I'm a Barnstormer fan, and I am, I wouldn't be disappointed in that effort.
Take something out of every one of these games against one of the top teams and learn something from it. Man, that was a heck of a game. Jose Arias will be the winner. He goes 7 innings tonight. He'll be the winning pitcher. Aiden Ryan only pitches 3 but gives up 4. And the Barnstormers bullpen. Kenny Williams comes out of the bullpen. He pitches light out, 32 pitches, 28 of them strikes.
That's fantastic.
Garrett Day comes in too. He pitches 3 innings without giving up a run. The save will go to Jonathan Henry. He'll get the final out of the game here tonight. London Majors win 4-3. We'll be back. We'll come back and wrap this one up. Is that what we're going to do? We're going to wrap it up? That's what we'll do. We'll come back here to Fergie Jenkins Field to wrap it up. It's presented by Kent Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.
My time, think it's my year. They gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming, had to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket. Yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits. Yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no ends. Yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen. Putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my.
Every family, every asset, every business we insure is a chapter in our story. We listen with open hearts, understanding that behind every insurance policy is a unique narrative. It's not just about numbers, it's about your dreams, your aspirations, your life. We take over your risks so you can live life to the fullest. Because we're not just some insurance people behind a desk. We are part of a community that has your back.
All right, folks, thank you for hanging around. This was a barn burner. I'm going to tell you, the London Majors and Chatham Barnstormers are going to have a great rivalry, I got to tell you. They're our closest competitor, and it's going to be a dandy, and I hope we meet them in the playoffs. Absolutely. Listen, my player of the game tonight is the first baseman who reminded me, Trent reminded me of the great Keith Hernandez, who won the most Gold Gloves at first base, and a left-hander like yourself. So what plays this kid had tonight at first base? Did he not? He was simply outstanding. I know it's tough to talk after a lost kid, but tell us, you were just a vacuum down there at first base tonight.
Yeah, well, thank you. Just basically keep the team engaged, make guys make plays, and being able to be there for our pitchers, kind of stand behind us from us. The biggest thing to do.
Well, a couple in particular made a diving stop, and it was a sprint to the bag. I wasn't sure if you were going to dive, but you said no. I got the speed of the great Ben Johnson. I'm going to beat him to the bag, and you did. And then another, Seth Strong made a nice play at third. He gunned it over to you, and you scooped it up. One hopper and made a huge play.
Yeah, when infielders make good plays with the glove, you guys kind of feel a little bit of pressure to, pick him up a little bit if he throws a little bit off, but hey, that's my job. Catch the ball and throw.
Absolutely. You're from London, Ontario, and boy, like I said, you gotta love it when you're playing your hometown team there. Would have been nice, but I got a feeling that we might see these guys in the playoffs, and it's going to be a heavyweight battle.
Yeah, hope to see good teams like that down the road, and every time you play them, there's always a little bit of a little extra mojo playing your hometown team, so it's good to get out here and really compete tonight, but unfortunately.
Well, you had a key base hit tonight. Hey, folks, he's my player of the game. He's Trent Silla. And here's again, and we're glad you're a Barnstormer. Thank you very much.
Back wrapping up here at Fergie Jenkins Field. They cleared out pretty quickly. They saw a good one, too. Barnstormers Baseball Live is presented by Kent and Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider. Ed, we were just sitting here talking about that was one of the best games we have been a part of this year here at Fergie Jenkins Field, and we had some bright spots throughout the diamond. The player of the game, Trent Sillett, what did we have, 15 putouts in the game? 15 putouts over at first.
Anybody who's played a little first base and realizes it's not an easy position to play and watch him play first base, he's really good. And he's got great hands. He can concentrate. He can come up with short hops, ground balls. He did everything. In fact, he almost threw a runner out at third base on an exchange across the field. So he also has a good arm.
I had a star next to that play. Obviously, Trent had a great night over at first base. Had a star on the Seth Strong. He came in, barehanded the ball, and got the guy at first, but also Anthony Polovic late in the game, too, with the runners on first and second. I think maybe bases loaded, but he kept the ball in the infield.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So some good defense tonight and some good relief pitching, too.
Yep. Oh, yeah. We had 3 pitchers, and the last, they covered 6 innings, the 2 relievers, and gave up no
Williams
runs.
and Garrett Day.
Yeah, and performed very, very well. Ryan coming back, pitched well, gave up a few runs, and pitched well. When you're coming back from about 2.5 week layoff, it's hard to get back in the saddle and get the feeling you had when you had an injury. And he pitched well too. If you're a Barnstormer fan,
only 2 earned runs out of the 4.
Yeah, you got to you got to support these guys. They really have improved from the beginning of the year to now. Their improvement is tremendous, and they're getting to know each other and play alongside each other, and that's a big advantage for older, experienced teams that they play together for so many years, and it is important. When you got 9 players out there that each other knows where the other guy is. And we seem to be falling into that. And hits are being distributed. Pitching has picked up. A lot of strikes tonight. And great effort.
Not to nitpick, though. But the inning, they gave up 3 runs. Started with a hit by pitch. There was a walk. There was an error. Things that have come back to bite them all season is those free bases. And tonight, it ends up being the difference in the game.
Yep. And unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that because that's the way the game goes. And you give them free passes and hit batsmen and make an error, bad things happen.
Well, tough one tonight for the Barnstormers. They're right back on the field on the road. You can watch that Kitchener broadcast on YouTube on Thursday night, then 3 home games this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, Holiday Monday. Get your tickets now, ckbarnstormers.com, or watch right here on YouTube. For Wesley and Brad, our producers who made this happen, for all the camera folks that were out there making sure we got on the air here tonight, for Peter Cobb, for yourself, Ed Myers, I'm Chris McLeod. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Barnstormers lose this one 4-3 from Fergie Jenkins Field, presented by Kent and Essex Mutual Insurance, Ontario's trusted insurance provider.